Okay. There we go. All right. Well, friends, thank you so much for helping me playtest this. Let me, have either of y'all, any of y'all read through the most recent version I sent or skimmed through it?
I skimmed it.
Okay, I'm going to start at the very beginning, okay?
I read.
And just kind of tell you this, I'll tell you the rules kind of as we go, and if I think something that you don't know what you don't know, then I'll recommend some things along the way because we're trying to invent this. The core concept for Ritual is it's going to have some role play elements, but it's probably 30% magic, 30% puzzles. What did I say? 30%. There was something else kind of around there, intrigue or kind of fate of the world, and 10% role play. If this was a campaign, we could really get into more of the role play stuff. We're going to do a lot of theater of the mind style stuff throughout the course of it, but the idea is that you are a group of proficient magicians that are going to get called on to save the world. You're going to encounter a threat that is so big and so potentially life-ending as we know it that you are humanity's last hope. And magic is the only real logical solution. And so the whole point of this game is that you're going to discover a threat, and then you are going to invent the ritual on a global scale that is going to address it. And that's where a lot of this brainstorming, that was the other 30%. 30% brainstorming, 30% magic, 30% puzzles, and then 10% roleplay.
Nice.
That's kind of where I think it is right now. So pretty much every aspect of this is, other than the initial threat, which is literally like a couple of paragraphs, is invented by us kind of through the end of the game. All right. I've also, because I am a firm believer that any story that has stakes this high really does wring a lot out of the heroes, and so I expect the characters you pick to not look the same on the back end as they do on the front end. And it's not just death. It is a lot of it's just the preheat. It's done. It's just the deals that you're going to have to make, the sacrifices you're going to have to make to get to the end. So I really just go for it. Go and like wring these characters out and figure out. I will tell you, this is one of those games that if you really don't want to get hurt, you're just not going to do a lot. This is going to be big risk, big reward. Now, if you've read or Lev Grossman's The Magicians or watched it, this is highly influenced by it because I just liked how they did it. And so what I want to do to start off is to tell you how magic works in this world and tell you a few things that all magicians would know and kind of what your relationship is to this force, this organization or whatever. And then we'll pick characters with that knowledge, and then I'll set you up with the kind of core components, and we'll go from there, okay? So, a few things about Ritual, the way that there we go, magic and Ritual. So, a few things to note. In this world, all magic is academic. There is no sorcery, there is no divine blessing. All magic is something you have learned to do. And you are able to use combinations of verbal components, somatic components, material components to do magical things. Now, with that caveat, there are gods in this world, if you say so. There are fey creatures, there's vampires, there's demons. Anything magically that you can think of exists in this world. But humans can only do magic academically, and you have to learn it this way, okay? Secondly, magic is precise, meaning that it has to be done exactly correct. And once you start invoking power, it starts to get dangerous. So the more precise, you have to be precise to contain, control, and direct the power to do the thing that you want done. It's high risk, high reward. You're going to attempt enormous things, and if you do it correctly, it's going to be amazing. If you don't, there will be consequences. All right? Which leads me to magic does have limits. And it's not so much that magic has limits, it's that you have limits. of what you are able to call upon. You have the ability to control a fair bit of magic. We're going to talk for a second about common magic, which is the kind of just basic stuff every magician in this world can do. Everyone can light a campfire. Everyone can send a little telepathic message. Like, there are just some basic things that you are considered. It's so elementary in the schools of magic that you don't have to roll for it. There's no risk to it. You can just do it. It's magical. However, the bigger it gets, the more power, the more precise you have to get, and at some point, what you are asking to do is too big for you to do alone. The whole point of that being, the ritual that is saving the world will require a group of you to cooperate to make it happen. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Magic has consequences. Poorly executed magic will have profound consequences. Magic forces are potent and dangerous. Magicians are trained to mitigate those risks by conducting magic correctly and knowing their limitations. And the one thing I'll add to that is, and supporting one another. There's a mechanic in here where you can help one another succeed. And collaborative magic is something you could do, but you both then absorb the risk of it. If you still fail, then you both get the consequences of it. Right? The last thing, and we're going to talk about this is going to transition us into the prime directives. Magic is secret. In this world, human magicians human magicians are thus limited in their practice of magic. They live in a magical world. Yes, there are gods, demigods, monsters, titans, magical creatures, fae, dragons, vampires, werewolves, pixies, etc. These magical forces may be bound by different rules than human magicians, but the belief is the world can't handle magic. Mundane people can't process it, can't think it. And we'll go then to the prime directives here. There is a governing entity in this world for all magicians. Hey, Aaron.
What?
It's real loud down there.
Sorry.
Sorry, just screaming up here. The Council of Archmages, which is totally a name I'm willing to hear recommendations on calling something better. That's what I have right now. The Council of Archmages is a somewhat governing body. Again, you're fairly autonomous as magicians, but they got together and decreed eons ago that there are 3 prime directives that every magician needs to agree to. The first is that the secret of magic must be kept. Magicians and orders, they've tried, it just doesn't work. Secondly, the belief is the world is worth saving. Magicians are granted extraordinary powers, but are obligated to protect it, even from those who felt this belief. Magicians are forbidden to kill the innocent. Okay? And then 3, and I still don't know how to necessarily phrase this, but every magician is expected to know your limits. And the directives is don't do something you can't do. Right? When magic gets out of control, it's going to have consequences, and don't make us come and clean up your mess, is the belief of it. Right? All that to say, and I just want enough of this pressure, we'll see if it's relevant at all. If you say, dang it, somebody found out about magic, I want the consequences of that to be understood to be so high. The Council of Archmages could wipe your memory and strip your powers. Like, these prime directives are serious. And as you are navigating this, you need to keep this in mind. If you have agreed to save the world and you abandon that, there's going to be consequences. If you start magic you can't fulfill, there's going to be consequences. If the secret gets out, there's going to be consequences. Does that make sense? Okay. Objectives, magical rules, prime directives, Council of Archmages, and ritual solutions. Okay. So those are the basics. And I'll tell you just briefly how a session of ritual is going to go. We're going to build characters, and then when the story starts, you're going to get a chance to kind of introduce your characters and like showcase them a little bit. And once we're done, then you'll hear the threat at hand. Every threat you get is going to be fairly imminent, like days before this takes over the world, which means you got to move fast. You are then, as a group, going to come up with a ritual that is the solution to this problem. It can be anything you want as long as it like narratively makes sense. Then we're going to collect the 4 components needed to produce a ritual, and they will thematically go back to the ritual you've selected. Right? I'll give you examples about this along the way. And so we were going to run basically 4 quests to get these 4 components. And that's where the role play and your magic and all this kind of stuff is going to come in. The last one's going to kind of bleed into the ritual needs to start, and we're going to see if it's successful, right? There's the board game element to this is that there is absolutely a numerical way to lose. And so what you're trying to do is mitigate your risk and figure out how to get enough things in your favor. Narratively, what I've said is every ritual you are building has never been attempted before. And so you as magicians are going to use your most educated guesses of what would be an effective combination of a ritual to do these things. Make sense? So that's kind of how that'll work. Okay? So, for characters, here's where we go. I've printed out a bunch. Let me give you just the briefest of, there are 4 stats that are going to be relevant to this. Your physicality, which is anything you can do to your body, through your body. IQ, which is not just intelligence and intellect, but psychic abilities, technomancy, being able to interface with machines, etc. Will is anything that exerts control on the world around you, whether that be elements or people's minds or whatever the case may be. And then luck. Luck, as I determine it, is anything that defends or assists the user. Luck may not be the right label, but I just love it so much. Things like teleportation is going to be a luck-based stat. And I'll tell you about teleportation. It's the one piece you do need to know about here. Luck, though, is kind of there's a chance it could go wrong. Like we're trying our best, but it's defensive in some ways. It's healing, all that kind of stuff. And luck-based characters have a little interesting mechanic that can do a lot of assistance to the rest of the party. Teleportation is something you can do. However, teleportation requires a 10-minute ritual, unless you have the discipline of teleportation. And it requires the group to make a check. So we're actually, as you're going to travel all over the world and maybe into other dimensions, you can teleport, but you have to do it together, and everyone will contribute to a luck roll, and you just have to be a 10 to make sure that you teleport correctly where you're going. But it does take like a teleportation circle kind of element to it. It was the only way that I could stop that being the solution to everything.
Sure.
Right? Yeah. So I just had to, we'll see. You'll have to let me know if this is a big deal or not. Okay? So you have these 4 stats. What you're going to do is you're going to put a dice, a d6, 8, 10, and 12, each in one of those 4 stats. Your highest stat is
determined by your specialty.
It's called. We're going to call it your discipline.
Your discipline.
And your discipline is the.
You want me to work on the pizzas while you kind of keep on?
I can. I'm going to turn this off right now. Let's eat one pizza and then we'll make the next one. That way, last time I just made so much pizza.
Yeah.
Your highest stat needs to go in line with your magical discipline. Your magical discipline is basically your superpower. It's the one specific form of magic that you are exceptional at. And your magical discipline is going to get a huge bonus. You're going to get a +5 modifier anytime you try to use your magic discipline in some way to affect whatever you're doing. Okay? Everything else is kind of per your stat. So a couple of things. Your highest stat, so let's say the ones on the far left are physicality. So you have a shapeshifter, you have a phaser, you have a kind of body to metal like a Colossus figure. You're just by choosing physicality as your highest stat, you get a feature, and it's written on there. And then your subclass, which is your discipline, will have a secondary feature as well. All right? So these pre-printed ones already have the highest die chosen that discipline would fall into. You then will fill in the rest and figure out how you want to divvy up your other stat dice. You don't have to use one of these 12, but they're already here. And so you can decide. If you want to invent one, go for it. And I really, since this is a test, I don't know what you're going to pick, so pick anything that looks interesting to you, and we'll figure it out.
You're doing telekinesis.
I want to do the telekinesis.
Okay?
He was not going to change his mind.
Yeah. All right.
Unless anybody else like
I
strong
want this
feelings.
one.
Okay.
No.
No,
I have
yeah,
like
we could.
4 I like, so...
I'll pass any to you
Which
if you
ones
want to
are
look
you
at
looking
them.
I'm interested in the conjuration, in the transmutation.
Summoner?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't
Summoner-
specifically call it a conjurer.
Sorry,
It's a
summoner, the transmutator, the phaser, and the.
Should we be worried about balance? Like, should we be?
I don't know.
Different ones?
I honestly
Okay.
don't know the answer to that. So play whatever seems interesting.
I
Like, I think
guess-
we're gonna find out really quickly. I will tell
Yeah.
you, because typically that question is always about, do we need a healer? Healing is a specialty. It's actually not one that I printed here. There are ways to recover. You do have health in this, and you can die. And the lower health you get will start to limit like your ability to amass resources, yada yada. If you wanted to be specifically a healer, I don't think it would make it or break it.
Shifting.
It does not matter. The medium's cool.
Not really interested in that one. I like these guys. I like her.
There's plenty.
Yeah.
I was reading through the like updated rules you sent over before
Yeah.
and that's really the more I was reading, it's like, this is what I want to try out.
The telekinesis?
The
Cool.
stuff. It just seems like I've wanted to play this type of character for
Perfect. All right.
many types of things, and it just never seems to scratch the itch in
Yeah.
the right way. But I think this might be the one.
Good.
Or I'm hoping.
Good. Why not?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
You want to see anything, Seth?
Yeah. Let me take a look at this one.
All right. Caleb is doing telekinesis.
I really can't decide between this shapeshifter fella and the phaser fella.
You
I
can
was not
you can play
expecting-
other genders if you want.
Well, both of these are
I know.
men. I mean, I don't care. I don't care. No, I just mean like
They were
the
meant to be
discipline
inspiration
itself.
photos. So.
The discipline itself is what I'm looking at. I just am debating between shapeshifting and phaser. I like them both.
The phaser was one of the other ones that, after I like read through the rules again, seemed really interesting to me to like try out.
You know what's funny is when I was creating these, I actually went through the Marvel books.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, let me look like just see what general superhero categories there are, and that actually helped me with a lot of these. I was like, why not?
Do you have the do you have a
Phaser.
PDF of the Marvel rules as well, or just the?
Oh, I just have the books, but you can borrow them if you want.
Well, no, it's
All right, you're going with phaser.
something else that would.
Okay. What'd you pick?
The transmuter.
Okay.
Do you still want these out or?
Nope, I can have them all. I'll take them all back. Yep. And so these are kind of cheat sheets for you. See, I'll also take that back because that was just more of a. I have a bigger, more comprehensive list than these 12. Can I have that? Why don't you grab a pencil, and if you could, you want to fill in the rest of your dice. So with your other 3 stats, you want to put either a D6, 8, or 10 in those, and it honestly doesn't matter what you pick.
Remind me what will is.
It's the exerting control on the world around you. So it's a lot of elementalism, mind control, hypnotism, stuff like that.
And then it's so we have the D12 pick. What are the other ones that we need?
10, 8, and 6.
10, 8, and 6.
Mhm.
And you want us to do this like?
And then if you could answer the questions, that's just for a little bit of flavor. And as a GM, I'd like to just know, like invent just that much of a backstory for me. What I'm trying to get to is the stakes. Why does your character care about this at all? So someone you love, somewhere you love, and something, an idea, a thing, like what would make the world worth saving for you to put your life on the line?
Sure.
And this, I'm just trying this out. We'll see. Good? Yeah.
Is this set in like our
Modern day.
world?
Yeah, it'll be modern day. Yeah, modern day Earth.
Yars.
I do think you could put this in a lot of different time periods.
Sure.
But this one will be this. So what I need to know is your character's name, and then if you can tell me the briefest person, place, thing, or idea would be great. So none of you picked a luck-based character, is that right?
Correct.
Okay.
Should we have?
No. It's a mechanic I'd be interested to see, but that's, I mean...
Is that like
I have
the
a lot
extra
more-
Magicka stuff? Magic
Yes.
tokens?
Mhm.
Yeah. That was an intriguing one to me. I would love if we playtest this again to try out whatever.
Yeah. I also need to know how difficult of a game you want to play. So this is you can do what I call exciting, challenging, or deadly.
Oh, those are all so different.
Basically easy, medium, hard.
Yeah.
Sure.
And it will make a significant difference on what you're working towards.
As a playtest, do you have any that you...
Right.
What would you like to try?
Yeah.
I mean, I've done the math on this.
Uh-huh.
I think the easy version is really hard to lose.
Yeah.
Like, the rolls would just have to go so extreme in either way. Like, easy will probably be pretty easy. Deadly there's a solid chance you can't make it. Like, it's almost on par with the best you're able to do is the best you're rolling against.
Let's do medium.
Medium?
Why? Yeah.
That's kind of what I was thinking too.
Just to see.
Okay. Well, just so you
I
know,
like medium.
before we start, I'm actually going to roll. So the way that this works is you are going to, through the course of this component phase, collect 12 dice that are going to be your final roll for the ritual to see if it succeeds. They are going to be a combination of D8s, D12s, and D20s. And as you collect the components, the more difficult or challenging choices you make, the harder it will be to procure, but the higher I'm calling it your quality dice. Basically, it'll be a better chance of success at the end. So easy, medium, hard is, am I rolling 12d8, 12d12, or 12d20 for you to roll against at the end?
Yeah.
So the medium is 12d12. We're going to see if that works.
Yeah. How specific do you need for like the somewhere?
Yeah.
Better, the more the better.
Okay.
For a backstory,
Yeah.
like the lake I went to when I was little, or
Sure.
my grandmother's house, or whatever, was kind of what I was thinking.
Okay.
I'm just gonna put keywords on here because
Great. I
Not a
need you.
lot of
I need
them.
you. Well, here's what I'm trying to see is if any of this is going to be worth bringing up
Sure.
in the game in the course of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is a fucking suck. I keep coming up with joke answers. Something I love. Cake.
Great. I mean, that's a great answer. Why not? Like, Earth's worth saving because there's cake.
Because there's cake.
right?
I'm gonna put it. Cake.
I mean,
I
I
did already
specific-
put someone I love, my cat Harold.
Perfect. There you go.
I did already specifically say cheesecake, so I feel like we're in the same place. That's fine.
Well,
Coven of
if you
cheesecake.
like cake and you like cheesecake,
Uh-huh.
I feel like I should need to like pie or
Something like that. Pie's good.
or maybe like some other specific type of
brookie?
cake. A brookie?
A brookie?
That could be good.
Or cheese, even.
Uh-huh.
She could have the cake and I could have the cheesecake and you could have the cheese.
That's also good.
No, it's fine.
Okay. So
Food based though. Good call.
let me see. I'm gonna pull this up.
Mm-hmm.
The next thing I need you to do is, actually, can you just tell me these real quick? First of all, I need to know your character's name, and then tell me like your bullet pointed person, place, thing.
Yeah. My name's Rowan. They, them. And the someone I love is my cat Harold.
Okay.
And, oh, he rolled away before I could get
I'll
it.
pick it up.
Somewhere I love. I put Ireland. I was thinking that maybe they could be from there.
Beautiful.
Sure.
Love it.
And then something I love, cake.
Cake. Okay. Seth, what do you got?
Gary follows. He, him.
Gary. Okay.
Someone he loves is Grandfather George. Somewhere is Grandfather George's farm. And something he loves is cheesecake.
That his grandfather George used to make.
Yeah, probably.
Okay. Good. I'm loving this.
Mhm.
What do you got?
I'm Sophia Schieber. Who I love is my little sister Olivia. The place I love is the small island town where we grew up just off the coast of Honduras. And what I love is let's do cheese. Let's do cheese.
Cheese?
Yeah, I love cheese.
Okay.
I love cheese.
I mean,
Cool.
who does?
All right. So the last piece that you need to decide before we.
Is this
Yes, it is.
Okay.
I also have
Actually,
something in
this
a
might
drawer.
be a twist off. No, it's not a twist off. I don't like this.
Yep.
Ah.
I was here when we got here, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cute.
Is that why you bought the house?
It's just for this.
Right. So push
That's
us over the
selling
edge.
point.
So here's what's terrible. I've been coming here for how many years, and I've never noticed.
You've never seen that?
Never, like, what is it? Never noticed it. Okay.
Okay, the last thing that I need you to decide is why are you all working together? So I have an inspiration list here, which you are happy to roll a d20 on if you want it to be random. Or you can look over these and tell me what kind of common experience do you have that brings you all together?
Are we a coven?
I really like the idea of coven because when I was reading through this and I saw your inspiration, if you like these medias,
Yeah.
I noticed you didn't include Charmed in there, but that is
Oh!
instantly what I thought of.
Of course,
That's
Charmed.
instantly what I thought
Ah.
of. When you said it's gotta be real world and
Yeah.
stakes and
I'm gonna put that in the manual because you
Yeah.
said so. I have seen every episode of that. Of course, Charmed. Yes.
I don't think I ever watched that. Is it pretty good? Worth
For-
watching now? Or?
for a 90s show,
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get through season 1.
Yes,
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
definitely lost its flavor, I think, quick.
That's fair.
But, I agree. I like it.
I did think that how they handled magic in the magical world was interesting.
Mhm.
I think they lost their way season 6 or 7 when I was like,
It definitely
what's
could have
happening?
ended
She's
a
married to
long
the
time
devil?
before.
What's
Yeah.
happening?
Right.
But all in all, I think I liked it.
Or a book club? We could be a book club?
I didn't even see that one. Oh my god.
I feel like several of these could also be names for that Council of Archmages.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, actually.
The Watchers.
I was thinking the
There you go.
Watchers.
That's not a Marvel thing, is it? Are the Watchers a Marvel thing?
I think the Watcher is a character in Marvels.
That's not, but
Marvel, but I
maybe it's
don't-
not Marvel.
I think it's...
What about Green Lantern? What is it? The OA? Anyways. You just have to, it's like naming a tavern in D&D. You just need a good adjective and a good animal.
Yeah.
I mean,
Like...
we could be a coven. Gary's gay, so I've decided if it's like the she's and the gay
Mm-hmm.
and the they,
Yeah.
that would work.
Sure. Where... And what were the circumstances that we started our coven?
Right.
I don't know why you're looking at me. That's
I'm-
exactly the question.
I'm trying to look behind my head so that it's
Oh, I see.
kind of looking at Kate and kind of looking at Seth, and it just didn't turn my head far
Perfect.
enough.
No.
So if magic is purely academic, we would have had to have been taught it. Were we outcasts at a magic university and formed a coven out of our
Do independent
friendships?
study?
Right, independent study. Maybe deal with a bully that was there and something like that.
Our coven could have been grown out of a study group
Yeah.
of some sort.
I see y'all are nerds.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
You're the one who made
I
this
feel
whole
like-
academic.
Right?
yeah.
I feel like maybe there was some magic that we needed that we weren't given access to, and so we had to figure it out on our own
Okay.
or something. I don't know. Thoughts there?
Sure, that works for me.
We were just
So like your hedge witches,
Um,
basically. Like a hedge coven, where you learned some magic but then had to finish teaching yourself the rest.
Oh no, I think we're full wizards who also branched off into the hedge witchery,
Okay.
right?
Okay. So a hedge coven.
Sure.
Yeah, legit. What? Oh no.
Okay, cool. So the one mechanic that I think you do need to know about are these Magicka tokens. So it's basically a skill roll game, and to clarify, and I think this might be a little small. Yeah, this one's probably a little too small. I can pull this out though if you want to.
Oh yeah, I can only read like the big words on there.
So
You didn't even
skill
watch
checks
it.
go in like denominations of 4. So like 1 to 4 is your easiest skill level, and that's where your common. So, and there's mundane checks and magical checks. You'll use the same dice for. So if you want to run a marathon, great, that's physicality. Let's roll and see if you can do that. If you augment it with magic, however, the difficulty is going to stay the same, but you can now use a higher die, etc. So magic runs, and you have common magic, which are all the things that you can do. I put a bunch of examples on there. You can light about a campfire-sized fire. You can send one short message to somebody in the same room as you telepathically. Like they're basic, common kind of things that you can do.
Kind of like just cantrips.
Yes,
Yeah.
you can spam those. Yeah, which again, this is magic. You can spam all you want. Once you get out of that, the step above that that's just a little bit harder is your proficient magic. And proficient magic is stuff you probably should be able to do, but if you have your D6 in a stat, there's still a chance that it may not work. If we're talking about the campfire, now we're talking about like a room-sized fire. Like, okay, it's just that's a big fire. I'm just gonna say it's a little bit bigger than like the campfire. You're gonna have to roll for it. But if you have a will-based character, I mean, there's probably no way you can fail that. Like
Don't say
that's
that.
pretty. Right? You get to the expert magic, which if you don't have a discipline is going to be the kind of top edge of what you can do. And chances are, unless you actually really excel in that and use some of your extra bonuses, you're probably not going to be super successful. So this would be like setting the house on fire. That you should probably be fairly good at fire magic if you're going to do that. Your discipline can go above that. And that's where you're going to be able to do your D12 plus a +5 modifier. So if you're great at fires, great. You want to set the block on fire, great. It's still really hard to do, but you could do that. You probably can't set the city on fire. That's just outside of what your capabilities are. Does that make sense?
Oh, man.
Chicago Fire Part 2.
Now, I'll just throw in this caveat. You can always attempt to do something collaboratively. So you would both contribute the same stat, even if you have different dies in it, and you can do make those checks together. Again, if you still fail, you both get get hurt for it. And there's a little cheat sheet here it's called the magical backlash. So in some senses, you might do something so terrible you might lose a life point, which you start with 3 life points. You'll see it on your card. But more often than not, if you roll a natural 1 on any skill check, you'll roll a d20 or something else I choose for this magical backlash, and we'll see kind of what it is. The Magicka tokens are the last thing, and then we'll start the story. Under the paper there are little tokens. You can hold up to 5 of these in your hand at any given point in time, and these are basically points you can add to a roll to hopefully change a failure into a success. So if difficulty is a 7 and you roll a 3 or you roll a 5, you can throw 2 Magicka tokens in and make it a success. Anytime you roll, even with Magicka tokens, and succeed on a magic, so not common magic, anything you would roll on, you earn another Magicka token. So anytime you attempt magic, this is high reward. Just attempt magic where you roll, you can earn more. If you roll the highest possible value on any skill check, you get a super token, which is worth 3. They don't stack with the other ones. You still have you can only ever contribute 3 Magicka tokens to any one skill check. You can gift Magicka tokens to other players if you want, but you have to hold that 5. You have to keep that 5 there. While you can only use 3 on any particular roll, any Magicka tokens you have at the end for the ritual, you can pull in the middle, up to 5. and hopefully that will give you a big boost and hopefully help you win the game. Sound good?
Sure.
Okay. So let's start with our little story. Y'all are a hedge coven. Where is your home base? Like, where would y'all come together?
Islands from you. Where were you raised?
Ireland.
Ireland.
My mind went to like East Coast somewhere.
Yeah.
Where are you from?
Somewhere super boring, like Idaho. Right.
Cleveland.
Right. So, well, no, he spent time on the farm, growing up on the farm. So
Okay.
nowhere there.
What if we say like Atlanta or something?
Sure. Somewhere interesting,
Like,
better.
yeah.
Somewhere better.
Like, would y'all have a
But,
safe house or like a place where you can store your magical things and like you
Yeah.
meet and plot, or is this just like we come together when we need to come together?
I feel like maybe one of us just has got like a back room or something that kind of functions as
So
that.
y'all are low tech, right?
And like maybe we've got like I don't know that we're entirely low tech, but like working on a budget. Yeah.
So are we in like an apartment
Oh.
or a house? Because
Let's do
kinda
a
want
house.
I want a
Yeah, I
house.
feel like. I mean, with our powers combined, we
Yeah.
at least own a house.
Sure.
And probably being a transmuter, I would have worked like spent time building a secret room in our basement. That was like our work area.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay. Sounds good. So we're in your basement in Atlanta?
Sure.
Is that what we heard?
Yeah.
Okay. As our story begins, do y'all have like a name for your group that y'all want to?
Ooh. Name?
Y'all can think about it while we start this. Y'all have all gathered. This is something that you regularly check in. It sounds like your group does a fair bit together.
Yeah.
This is not your first rodeo. You have been called on to do address major things that exist in the world. The Council of Archmages knows who you are and has often called upon you to help. And you've proven yourself. You are deemed competent, proficient magicians. You may not be their first phone call, especially with kind of how y'all have deviated from some of the, normal things, but the Council of Archmages is much less concerned with like you exploring forbidden magic and more just that these prime directives are followed. And to date, you haven't really tiptoed out of those lines. So as we are in the basement, what I want to do is give you a chance to each earn your first Magicka token. So I want you to showcase for me in some, it can be meaningful or not meaningful way, your discipline in some way to everybody else. You do not need to roll for this, although it does have to stay scope-wise kind of within something, reasonable. But showcase us a little bit of what it looks like when you do magic, according to your discipline.
I have an idea.
Yeah.
I kind of want to have Rowan have gotten like to our little meetup first and like hidden somewhere because they're a phaser. And when these two come in, or maybe just the first one, whoever shows up first, I like phase out of the wall and try to scare them.
Beautiful.
Is it like a
Trickster.
Cask of Amontillado like sort of situation that you're like in a separate room that has been entirely like closed off or something?
That only you know about?
Yeah.
Well, the thing about that is that only works once. I think I do like a different spot every time. 'Cause
Okay.
This is not the first
Okay.
time.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay.
So you kind of,
You're
you guys
always
kind
just
of walk
kinda
in like a
Fucking with
little
us
bit
a little
on
bit.
edge.
Yeah. Where's,
You don't
where
know
are they
where
going to be?
pop out.
Cool. Two things. I'm going to let you roll your D12.
Okay.
Not to see if you're successful, but in the event you roll a 12, you can get a token, or a super token.
Okay.
Are these the ones that you showed me the other day
Yeah.
that you can ride on?
That's a 5.
Okay? So you get your Magicka token because you have showcased us your power. Who walks in next that Rowan scares?
Who wants to be scared?
Well, sorry, side note. Name suggestions: the Bramble Briar Band, Tangled Thistle Tribe, the Crooked Coven, the Wayward Weavers, the Muddled Mire Mob.
I like the Wayward
That's
Weavers.
the one I like too.
Yeah.
Wayward Weavers.
That one, yeah. I like the alliterations.
Yeah.
Okay. Who walks next? Who walks in next?
Sure. Yeah, I think Sophia kind of walks down the stairs of the basement, and I've got like some books that I'm like referring to, but I'm not holding any of them. They're all just like kind of floating out in front of me, pages turning on their own and stuff. I think I maybe miss a step on the stairs and just kind of like glide down it or something.
Okay.
You know, that's my like way of introducing things.
So for kicks,
Yeah.
before you roll for that,
Yeah.
let's see if the surprise works. So I need you to each roll your luck die.
Sure.
Okay.
Luck is a stealth roll, but it's also a defense roll.
Okay.
So just a little contested luck.
Contested luck.
That's a 5.
I rolled a 6.
Oh.
Okay, so you're not scared.
Yeah.
This is not your first rodeo, right? Rowan, you boo, right?
I think
And
I stick out
that's
of
what
the
makes you trip down the stairs.
Ah,
Right?
yeah.
But you catch yourself.
Yeah.
Right?
I think I stick out of the stairs like, hello.
Ah, found a new hiding pole.
Fair enough. Okay, good. Go ahead and take your Magicka token. Go ahead and roll your D12 just to see if you get a 12 on that and get a super.
Nope.
Nope. Okay, but you can get your first one to start. And then last to the party is
Gary.
The guy whose house this
Gary
is.
Gygax.
What do you want from me?
I want you to come in and showcase your power a little bit.
Just
Um,
about.
I think Gary just walks through the door real nonchalantly, carrying his messenger bag. I feel like he definitely gives off like country gay come to the city specifically, right? So I'm really with that. So
I mean, you're in the right city if you're in Atlanta.
right, you know, bow tie hat, coming with the messenger bag is like, bitches, I have got this deal. And he pulls out from his bag just what looks like a small little clock.
I'm good.
We're like, save him.
Has he already opened that beer?
Huh?
I don't
Man,
know.
you guys
I don't
should've
know
seen
what
me,
my plan was to help you, but
Yeah.
I wanted to try. Anyway.
So it looks like a small, ordinary little alarm clock. Found this baby in an antique store. Such a find, and it suddenly transitions back to like a large antique armoire that is clearly worth more than what I paid for it.
Mmm.
It's like, it's beautiful. Love the wood grain here.
What a beautiful baby.
Yeah. So good. Like
Good find.
Suddenly it's gonna like, since I'm not levitate, I can't levitate. Not as good. But the density gets like super light and bloomy, and I just like position it to where I want and then let it go.
Nice. Nice.
What is your thing?
Transmutation.
Oh, okay. So you're changing things for me.
Yeah.
So, and there's some sample applications that I put on there for you. That is by no means a limitation. It's meant to include some ideas and also maybe some extra ways that wouldn't necessarily follow under that category, like altering a density of something. Did I put that down there?
Yeah.
I think that should be included in something like this, even though you're not technically changing the essence of it, changing its density. I think that's cool. So why not? And take a second real quick just to look at your two features. So whether it's your stat feature and then your subclass feature. And let me know if you have any questions about those.
Oh, I'm a fighter.
I assume wildcast just means like wildlife, like after I've rolled a die to do telekinesis.
Right.
Okay.
So in many cases, you're concentrating. And though I just recently added in this, you are concentrating on something. It's possible to concentrate on multiple things at once, but the second roll is the difficulty of the first plus the second. So theoretically, common magic, you can do a couple of things at once, but you can't do like massive things and have a high chance of success that you're sustaining most of these. So that's how I got around that.
Cool.
So while it's currently in use.
I was reading that earlier, and I love that rule so much. I think concentration in D&D is one of the things that frustrates me the most.
Yeah.
It's very
Why
annoying.
can like my 10th level wizard not like do a couple minor things at the same time?
Yeah,
you
I
know?
totally agree.
Like,
Yep.
I would
As
say-
you all are there kicking it back in Atlanta, in this basement, kind of stretching your muscles, which again you can't do out in public, unfortunately. But here is safe to do that.
And phasing in and out of the walls.
Perfect.
Just for fun.
Let me ask this. There's a gazillion ways I could do this. What do you want your group's relationship with the Council of Archmages to be? Like,
Under the radar?
do you want to be agents of the council, or do y'all want to be off their radar if at all possible?
I want to be off the radar.
That's more what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Like, as long as you don't like jeopardize any of these directives, like.
Sure.
Great. Then we're not going to bring them into this.
Okay.
We're going to say the TV pops on, and you get it. Coincidentally, a newscast comes on. It's starting to get later in. It's probably midday where you guys are, like morning or kind of about to lunchtime. Newscast comes on, and the newscast says. Coming to you live from the city of Muscat, Oman, the capital city of Oman. Residents are freaking out because the sun has not set. At 3 p.m., someone noticed that it wasn't getting cooler. The day did not seem to be progressing, even though the time clocks all said it would. By 5 p.m. Muscat time, the sun was still high noon. It is now midnight in Oman, and the sun has not yet moved. Muscat in the best of times, and I will tell you, I flew on an airplane through Muscat on my honeymoon, and at 1 o'clock in the morning, it was 113 degrees outside.
Oh my god. That sounds miserable.
It is the hottest place I've ever been in my life. It is a desert wasteland. So this is what inspired it. The desert desperately needs night. It needs it to cool. The animals need it. The people need it. The infrastructure needs it. Because without that, the temperature just goes up. It is now midnight in Muscat, and the sun has not gone down.
This is a localized, for the city, desert. The world has not stopped rotation.
The world has not stopped rotation. You would deduce that in that people are not flying off the face of the earth, right?
And, the sun still goes down where we're at.
Sun is still going up. It rose this morning.
Mm-hmm.
It is still moving in the sky.
Okay.
Something seems to be centralized around Muscat. This is alarming.
Clearly, okay. That's not science.
Yeah.
That's magic.
That's not normal.
So somebody somehow is breaking the prime directive?
Presumably. Or
maybe-
something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or maybe
whether
there's
it's
some kind of somebody opened up a thing that they weren't supposed to. Read from a book they weren't supposed to.
Amateurs.
Do not read.
Be some sort of...
I probably could have done a better job of
Otherworldly
incentivizing
monstrosity.
you to go investigate, but could we go investigate?
Yeah.
yeah.
Fault the storyteller for that, not the... I can create incentives for you to go.
Yeah.
What I need you to do then, if you're going to go investigate,
Yeah.
is teleport. And so it will take you 10 minutes, but I need you all to roll your luck die, and you collectively need to meet or beat a 10.
We're
There
gold.
You go. I got 8.
I just got a 10.
Did you?
I got a 1. So.
Okay,
No.
natural 1.
Oh, no.
I'm not going to, for teleportation, I won't do this, but anytime you do roll a natural 1 on a stat, you roll on this. Let's do this for kicks, because
Yeah.
I'm trying to play around with some of these ideas.
It's a D20?
No, for this, roll a d4. So these are, I've kind of organized these in escalation. So
2. Aura flare. Your body erupts with wild light or sound. Everyone knows where you are, and subtlety and stealth is lost. This continues through the end of the scene.
Okay. So wherever you teleport, you are just glowing in brand new light as your concentration momentarily slips.
I assume because we're trying to keep the prime directive and everything, we would have tried to target for somewhere people wouldn't be
Beautiful.
necessarily.
Yeah, like maybe outside of the city. Or,
Yeah, we're not gonna
like,
teleport into a major shopping center.
Yeah,
Right.
maybe we can like do some Google Maps search
Yeah,
and find like
yeah.
an abandoned warehouse to teleport
That's what I was
into.
thinking.
Or,
Fantastic.
you know,
Did you roll a 10 on your 10?
I did roll a 10 on my
Great,
10.
so you get a super magic token. So
Oh,
yeah.
here's what you can do. Write a 3 on one of those. And again, you can use those like a magic token. Those do not count against your 5. You can hold more than these, and you can cash in all of these at the end,
Hell yeah.
which is great.
Yay!
You also can use that as a +3 to any roll. So you all arrive outside the city of Muscat, Oman, and oh my god, it is so hot. You would estimate that it is well above 120 degrees.
Let's not stay here for too long.
There is no shade. I mean, you can see the steam rising off of the sand all around you.
Actually, if it's that hot, there probably isn't any people out and about that would have seen you anyway.
Fair.
Am I still going for this scene? When is it? This scene? Okay.
The teleportation was the end of the scene. You've now started a new scene. So as you begin to
Get a little
walk,
sparkly there. What was your name again?
Gary.
Who are you?
Get a little sparkly, Gary.
as you begin to walk into town, you realize y'all did pick a spot outside of town, and it is brutal walking in this heat
Can we
for the mile or so you need to walk to get into the town center.
can we see like a dark radius like around the town? Does it make sense what I'm asking?
Yes.
Okay.
What you can do a physical perception check, or you
my
could
best
find a way to
one.
use magic.
Physical is my best one. I'm just gonna do that.
Well, no, if you're going to do perception, it's going to be more of an IQ check
Oh.
to try to understand and perceive kind of what you can see around you.
That's my D6.
But if you would want to, find a creative way to use magic, throw a clairvoyant magic eye, 10 miles away and see what it tells you or something like that.
What would that
Or-
give me? Like the clairvoyant magical eye.
Well,
Which one would that be?
physically, you don't see any difference. You're in the Muscat City metro area, and the sun is up at
So
midnight,
it's far
and it's
en-
hot.
so it's
Visibly,
far
there's
enough
no-
radius that
Mhm.
we can't see the end of it from where we are.
Correct.
I have an idea. We're in a place that is like not other people are around.
No one seems to be around.
No one seems to be around. What if I did my telekinesis roll to get into that, and then like flew up in the air and used the physicality to like give myself better eyesight so I can see really far.
Okay. So you are. What are you doing?
We're
Is
going
that-
to make him invisible, if that's what's happening. I want
Ooh.
to trace
Okay.
the light around him.
Okay. You want to do a little combo?
Ah.
Invisible. So
Know what you've
the
seen.
Yeah.
telekinesis flight is its own discipline.
Oh, okay.
So as far as like flying like Superman, that's going to be much harder. If you just want to like lift yourself up and like, did you see Agatha all along?
Yeah, we
You know how
watched it
they
together.
right? You know how they just kind of like float on their hands like up. Right. Of course you. Yeah. Of course.
Yeah.
Right. So you remember like how they fly around?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking is like
That is.
just get like 50 feet in the air and hold myself there for a couple seconds so I can get a good glance.
You're not
Right.
trying to go anywhere.
No,
You're just trying
yeah.
to.
Okay, how high are you willing to go?
It's something like 50 feet, like somewhere that is like high enough that I can get a good view, but
there
like
buildings
not so high that I'm gonna like just straight die if like this goes wrong.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
Yeah.
Pretty
Roll your d12 and add your
Okay.
5 because I'm gonna
Yeah.
consider. Here's the thing: invisibility. You're not really changing his essence.
That's true.
I liked that like bending light waves around though. That was
That's fine. That's fine. What'd you roll
I
for
rolled
your?
an 8, but I think I get +5 for this.
Yes.
Right.
Right. So 13. Perfect.
Okay.
So you're able to go up. You hit the 50-foot mark. It's getting hotter as you go higher. From that vantage point, you're not actually able to see whatever radius this is outside of your visual range.
Okay.
That's pretty
Yeah.
far.
This is,
Now you're
yeah.
a physicality wizard
Yeah.
here. If you wanted to heighten your vision and see if you can see miles and miles away. You might be able to do
I
something
want
like
to do
that.
that.
Okay.
If I grab another slice.
Yeah. You want us to stick another pizza in?
I got an 11
I wouldn't
plus
say
my
no.
5.
Yeah.
16.
So this won't really factor into your discipline because
What? Oh yeah,
phasing.
phasing. Never mind.
But your 11 is more than enough.
Can I stick one
11.
in?
Yeah, stick one in. Is more than enough. As you look away from the city, and especially with an 11,
Cheese
you're,
or another meat?
Jeez.
you are able to see about 10 miles away. There does appear to be this like line in the sand where it is daytime and nighttime.
Okay.
We
That's
found
good to
it.
know.
Also, that was a 50, so he's invisible.
Beautiful.
She's.
Okay.
So that's pretty far away. But also, it's a good place to send people if this takes too much longer. People should not be hanging out here.
How do we tell them?
I mean,
You
we
think
just
they'll
say,
figure-
hey, 10 miles down the road, it'll be better than this.
Okay.
There are a herd of camels within 100 feet of you. One of them does appear to be dead. The others are kind of milling around. You can tell they have done whatever they can to find the little bit of shade available to them, but you see their bodies are starting to overheat.
Can you make like cold water or something?
Probably. Yeah, but I'm not there, am I?
All of you are there.
Okay, I missed that.
We're all hanging out.
I thought you had taken off. Okay, good.
No,
sure.
I just was using my elf eyes.
Can I
Rowan, what do your elf eyes see?
can I then
What's the eyes and go?
I mean I feel bad for the camels, but we're sure there's no people around.
I mean, there seems to be a tent nearby that maybe a shepherd is like keeping. You know, it's a building.
Yeah.
No one appears to be outside
Just
for
walking
sure.
around the building. There's like an alleyway, probably.
I'm gonna like sort of
Just make a
casually grab some of the like sand, and it's going to form into a trough,
Okay.
and then from the bottom of that, I want to drop sand and transmute it to water.
Excellent. Okay. Roll your discipline dice.
Well,
P.S. You get magic tokens for Brett. Like
Oh,
you
nice.
flew to the top. You
Yeah.
also get one for that, and you get one for seeing. So the invisibility. 12 for 12.
yeah.
Okay, you get a super token for that.
Woo!
I might be using the super tokens a little liberally, but that's why I want to be here, right?
Okay. So do I do anything to it?
Well, it's a +5, so you did an exceptional amount of magic
Yeah.
for there, but you do get the +3 for rolling the highest possible value
Okay.
on the die.
That's what I meant. Okay.
Yep.
So
You do that. The camels that are still alive, immediately kind of sense the cold water and come over and begin drinking. From inside the house there, you do have someone coming out and begins to speak to you in Arabic.
yeah.
Oh no.
Anybody know this?
No. I don't have good smarts.
I
Yeah,
will
I
say
speak
like
Arabic.
it's a very common magic ability to
Comprehend
understand other languages.
Yeah.
Okay.
So all of you, if you want to just do a little secret,
Yeah.
whatever you're doing, you were able to understand him.
Really tug on my ear for a second. Okay.
Yes. He comes out and he, you don't know, he's got this brusque communication style. He thinks, he's not sure if you're stealing the camels or whatever, but all of a sudden he sees that they are drinking fresh cold water, which is nowhere to be found. He falls to his knees and without really challenging or trying to question how this got here, thank you so much for this. You saved my camels. He looks at the one that's dead there, and you can see he's verklempt over this.
I'm sorry. We just walked up. I don't know anything about this.
All of a sudden, you see his entire demeanor change. He goes rigid, eyes unblinking. He stands up. His hands do, like, he stands really weird. Like his hands are twisted out. And you hear, he opens his voice and he begins to address you in a voice and a language that was completely different than what he was just saying. And he says, citizens of planet 3 from the star 48527, we are the Krizit and have claimed your planet as our own. In 5.2 rotations, we will land and assume control of this world. We will accept nothing but your unconditional compliance with these efforts and direct full cooperation in our landing preparations. Your world will be reaped of its atmospheric resources, its natural minerals, and all of its geothermal heat. We expect you to, we wish you the best in your final few days of existence.
How polite.
Sincerely yours, Chancellor Rizix of the Krizit.
So this is...
And then he
the
falls like
Krizit guy.
faint. He passes out.
Oh no, I'm
Like-
gonna try to catch him.
I'll-
God.
I'll keep him lifted up with my...
Your telekinesis?
Yeah,
Great.
and
Roll
just
for
kind
it.
of slowly lower him to the ground.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
13?
13.
Oh.
Right, you're able to catch him before he falls, but he's out.
Yeah. And his house is here
Mm-hmm.
or something? Okay. Can we, like, take him back inside?
Yeah.
I'll make like I'm carrying him. I know you're probably like,
Yeah, you succeeded.
but just that way. So if anybody's looking,
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
carry him.
Go ahead.
Point of order, just make sure I'm understanding rules. When I turned him invisible successfully, does that also give me a magical point?
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay, good. So I have two. Back and we're back.
No, the +3 doesn't count towards your 5. That's a separate pool. So it's
Okay,
the
so
single
that's
ones that are 5.
Okay.
Oh, that's a separate pool?
Yeah.
So you can have...
Many of the +3s as you want for right now.
Cool.
Just like-
As we're workshopping. Yeah.
This investigation stage. I didn't really intend to have a bunch, but I think this is more fun, and I will give it a few more minutes.
Yeah.
Sure.
Has anybody heard of an alien species called the Krizit? Is this new?
I will tell you, none of you have.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay. Great. We have
What the fuck are aliens doing?
5 cycles, and they're going to take all the air.
So that's 5 days. I
Yeah.
imagine.
So this is like a now thing.
Yeah.
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 Get drinks first.
I want to see the sights. I have a bucket list.
I've never been to Muscat before. Just kidding.
What the fuck do
Um,
we do? Though.
Well, I think step 1 is figure out why the sun has stopped here.
That seems like a bad idea. They're just destroying all the resources in this like 10-mile radius. That seems dumb.
Yeah, considering as they're planning to come to harvest everything, why
Yeah.
would they?
Why would they want to destroy anyway? I guess the why doesn't really matter.
But why
so
here?
much. Yeah.
I mean, are they after oil?
They're always after oil. Everybody's after oil.
5 days. So they're not even here yet, and yet they can exert some sort of control over the planet.
Well, we don't know that they're not here. We just know that we have 5 days.
Do we think maybe the sun is actually not the sun and is a spaceship? That's just
That's probably just preheat. That
Hovering
might be
over.
cooking fast, just so you know.
Yeah, I've got a timer going over here.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah.
not really a sun. It's a
Yeah.
spaceship
yeah,
that's just like directly above.
yeah. That would
You got it.
that would be the most logical.
Couple minutes.
I'm assuming we didn't see anything on the news about the people going like, we're gonna kill you in 5 days. Good luck. Best wishes.
No.
And also NASA's not said anything about UFOs over this area.
Well, they wouldn't tell anybody about that.
That's
anyway.
true. Yeah, that's true. We already know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is anybody a will-based character?
I
Yeah.
You are? So just so you know, one of your features is you know a guy.
I know a guy.
I know a
Do you
guy.
want to think
Right.
about who you might narratively be able to ask for? And it could be mundane or magicians.
Yeah.
all-
The aliens guy.
Yeah.
Like what would be
I like
narratively
that.
appropriate for
I mean,
Sophia?
is there a guy in like Muscat that I know who maybe like he's a little too kooky for us, but like does like kind of super into the like conspiracy theories and like extraterrestrial.
In
That's how
Vodka?
they- yeah.
Sure. Like we could teleport anywhere.
Oh right,
That's
I was
true.
gosh.
I would
okay,
rather
no.
not stay here much
Uh-huh.
longer.
Yeah.
Well,
TBH.
yes, this dude lives in Paris.
Okay.
I don't know.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have a question before we teleport away from this place. I know you want to move on from the investigation, but I have a
No,
question.
do it.
Is
I
there
want you to actually
something-
go with that. With your thoughts here.
Well, is there something that I can do to confirm if the sun is actually a spaceship?
Great. Make me an offer. Magically, how would you want to
Can
investigate this?
I mean, I really want to use my physicality. It's
Yeah.
the best one. Can I like craft some kind of little like ball or something that I can throw and just like chalk it?
Try to hit a spaceship in
Yeah.
space?
Yeah.
That's really strong.
If we like channeled some of our magic energy into the superhuman throw,
Yeah.
could that happen?
Here's the thing. Between telekinesis, your physicality, and
Transmutation.
making an actual, I don't know,
I'm thinking-
molecular essence that, could work.
I think it should
I'll let
have-
you work together on this. The difficulty is really high.
Okay.
You are talking about
Tricky.
throwing something into space.
Yeah.
Like, this is going to end up being like probably a 16.
Okay.
Like,
I can do it.
but you all have to use your secret sauces
Yeah.
to be able to do this, and you have Magica tokens. So
Okay. So
now here's my question.
Yeah.
But
yes.
how will you know if it works?
That's
Okay.
where I was going. Yes.
Okay.
So I'm thinking, like, those little tracker devices you can put under like cars and stuff.
Okay. Yeah.
I want that, so it sends like some kind of magical ping
Okay, so we're
Back
gonna
to
throw
us.
an air tag
back
into
to us.
space.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's
to
what it-
To
to a what? To a computer?
Well,
to our brains.
so I could make
Magic
a tracking
thing.
device. That's
Sure.
easy.
Sure.
I
What
can
if-
make an AirPod.
We said something about like a clairvoyant eye earlier. What would we need to roll for that sort of type of thing?
Yeah. So that would be. It's the same. What you could scry through a reflective surface, something like that. That's not. That would be way less difficult than what you're attempting to try and do. Like if you wanted to just like throw something up in space and see, or if
Yeah.
it is a reflective surface, be able to look through it. You could do something like that.
I mean, could we like?
It's gonna work.
Could I put my phone on FaceTime
And-
and FaceTime Rowan
You're not gonna
while
get
they
it.
throw it really far?
You're not gonna
Well,
get
it's
your
gonna
phone
you're gonna
back.
have a signal because it's
Yeah.
out of space.
Okay.
I'm just thinking of a magical
Um,
ping of some sort.
Yeah.
That just pings to your brain.
I can make an AirTag that will do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So here's what I'll make you this offer. One of you have to use your IQ to program your phone to whatever iTag he makes, and then you can do your secret sauce to
Well,
see
we're
if you
pinging it
can.
to our brain.
Who's got the best
Not
IQ?
our phone.
Well, then it's not an AirTag. It's some kind of magical like
I-
stuff, right? You're
I
enchanting it,
I
right?
can do that. I can just put I could put all three phones in the circle because I can do this. I can add. I have a +2 to IQ rolls to specifically interact with technology or machinery. So
Okay.
we can do this.
Okay, so let's program things and
Okay.
make your AirTags real quick.
Okay.
Okay.
So I do that. Do I need to? I need to roll for this because I'm.
Yep, and you'll roll your IQ die and you get your +2.
Oof. 4.
Now you have Magica tokens.
Which would, but that's only good. I don't want to use a super one.
My hope is that this is a very dynamic currency. I'm
Okay.
hoping you're earning these
So-
like
Earning them and spending
Right.
them just a
Constantly.
lot.
And a Magica token is 1.
one is 1, and then you have your +3, which is 3.
Did you say what the difficulty of this?
So that's
part
4.
So if I'm clear,
Uh-huh.
you are taking 3 phones and you're programming them to respond to this AirTag you're going to throw into space.
Yeah.
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 That's
normal.
that's still an 8. So if I were to even cash these in, it would be just.
No, you can only do a 3. 3 of any type is the most you could add to. Most you could add to.
So
a
the
roll.
most that it could be would be a 7,
Yeah, so
A
that's
7?
theoretically.
It wouldn't even be enough.
Yeah.
Because you have to have it 10.
Mhm.
So something about the heat, I guess, or the beam that's coming down is interfering with my transmuting, or at least the technology aspect of
Mhm.
it.
If we give Magicka tokens, can that
It's
exceed
still
the-
3.
It's still
Still only ever be 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's rude.
I mean, is this the sort of thing that we can jump in on and help
I'll
out?
try other things.
We could go.
Yeah.
We could try it again if we were to leave this circle, right? Or just see if how far out do you think we could project an arcane eye to just see?
To space?
Right. We wouldn't have any proof of it, but at least we would.
Probably 12. To get it to space.
My throwing it thing was...
I just thought that was so fun!
At first, I thought that maybe the spaceship was within the atmosphere at least. I wasn't thinking that it was in space.
Ooh. You get a little toasty?
It looks perfect right now.
Yeah,
Perfect.
You
Great.
know.
I mean, just a little bit like golden brown. That's the timer.
Perfect.
Just hit cancel. There you go.
Okay.
We could also just ditch this whole idea of confirming that it's a spaceship.
You know a guy, right?
Yeah.
In Paris?
Yeah.
That's into aliens?
Yeah.
He might have answers for you.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, let's go there.
Okay. So we instead of
there.
using technology, we change our magic circle to a teleportation.
Yeah.
Right. So it takes you 10 minutes, but everyone roll, your luck die. You need to get 10 or higher together.
I got an 8.
3.
Okay.
We
So you're
made
great.
it.
You make it to a place you know is safe in Paris
Yeah.
to go, and you make your way to, what's his name's house?
His name, Raphael.
Raphael.
Uh,
Y'all go, knock on the door. He, before your hand reaches there, the door opens. As if magically he's known you've been, we're coming.
Yeah.
It's like, come in, please now, come. It's like, it's so good to see you. I don't know what accent this is.
it's a generic accent.
Right,
generic.
a generic French accent.
Yeah.
French,
Right,
yes.
I've got to
It's French adjacent.
French adjacent.
Jason.
Could get him to be Caribbean.
So
here.
Belgium?
Yeah, there we go. As you come in, Raphael takes you to his back room where he has every computer monitor. You see all of these, pinups on the wall of news
With the
articles.
strings.
National Enquirer
Oh,
has the red
I feel like
strings,
that's
all this kind of
exactly
stuff.
This kind of guy.
And he says, Sophia, listen. There's something in space. I promise you this time that it is true. And they are not the only ones. But they look to, surely you've heard the news about what is happening in the Middle East.
Indeed.
Yes, it is not the sun. It is not the sun. It is a reflection. They're doing this. It appears to be some kind of landing site. It is preparing for the descent of this. But per my calculations and my telemetry, there are at least 300 of these ships that will be here imminently. And I imagine they will find places all over Earth to begin to do whatever they're going to do.
Are the pyramids in Egypt landing pads for these spaceships?
I do not know. He gets on his computer frantically, what a brilliant idea. Why didn't I think of that?
We're just
he
in-
just starts cursing in French at himself,
Stargate? Anyone?
I was thinking Independence Day.
Independence Day.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, when you start saying there's so many all over the world. Independence.
So in the
Is
interest
Bill
of...
Pullman the president in this?
Why
universe?
not? In the interest of time.
Yeah.
The summary statement is there is an alien race that is going to come in 5 days to harvest all of Earth's natural resources.
Yes.
One of them has already come as a kind of preview of this. This whatever beam is not the sun. It is a reflective surface, but it is going to basically boil the city alive. And there's a good chance, if Raphael is correct, that more ships are coming to probably follow suit. So, the next phase of this is for you to say, take all of this information you've had. I need you to come up with a ritual that is going to save the world. And by ritual, like if a demon was threatening to loose themselves upon Earth, you could do a banishment ritual. If you had a giant plant that was taking over the world, you could do anything. You could do a poison ritual, a pesticide ritual, a natural predator kind of ritual. Like thinking about what kind of ritual do you think will protect, either send them away, protect it. What do you want to do?
Computer virus into their systems.
So, full Independence Day.
We have proof of concept.
Can we take Jeff Goldblum with us?
I like this idea because
Yes,
the
I love
problem,
Independence Day
the
so
problem
much.
is we can't, like they know us. They obviously have enough data on us as far as like why we're viable, why they think we're weak. It's not like we can run and hide. So
We could probably get into one of their spaceships and just.
So at this stage, you don't need to know how.
Uh-huh.
All you need to decide is what. What are you going to do?
What the end
Because then we're going to build the ritual pieces, and one of those pieces is what are the conditions. And maybe you decide at that stage you have to be on the ship to do it, or whatever. Right now, just if it's a computer virus ritual, great. It's going to be a technology-based technology-based ritual that is big enough to get not only that lead ship, but 300 ships and get them away from Earth.
Does your
That doesn't have to be your
guy-
decision, but just trying to help you understand.
Does your guy know? Like, are they all interconnected? All these ships? Like, is it a viable thing to do a computer virus that will spread around?
Are you
Or
asking
something?
me, or are you seeing if your character knows?
Does Raphael know?
Yeah.
Does
Kind of
he
asking
know
Raphael.
anything about the
Yes.
The
Yeah.
business.
He
other than what
doesn't.
he's already told us?
Again, everything you've ever kind of heard from him, while magic,
No.
aliens are still just that one step removed, like...
Is this a magical guy you know, or a normal guy
Yes,
you know?
it's a magician,
Okay.
right? But he is a conspiracy theorist that
Certainly
nobody has
not,
taken
like,
seriously.
Normal.
Sure. Yeah.
So he
I was just
has
wondering if we had to hide our
theories.
in front of him.
No.
I'm going to say for the sake of time, it would be logical that they would be in touch. Like there's some kind of coordinated effort happening here.
Yeah.
So why not?
We have some kind
But
of
and also,
opinion back and forth.
if we're doing
A ritual. Yeah.
magic technomancy, right? Like we can target, we can make the focal point their navigation systems, right? And so now we're blending our intention and the magic with their technology. It's going to affect anything that resembles that within their parameters, right?
What if other ideas like what if we like created a protective like dome around the Earth that
Sure.
like just prevented them from getting access, or like sent out like a wave,
Like
One that
global
like
shield?
pushes them
Yeah.
away.
that
Love
just
the
kind
scale
of
of
like
it.
pushes them away or something, or I don't know. Other thoughts that are just
My only concern with
maybe
that
too big, but
is
you
if
know.
that would save the Earth, but would that blow the Prime Directive about us? Like suddenly Earth just has a big shell over it.
Uh-huh.
That's true.
Doesn't
I mean,
have to be,
who's to say you couldn't make it an invisible shield that only
Yeah.
magicians would know about,
Yeah.
right? And again, ritual scale, you can get very specific of
Mhm.
things that mean earth harm can't come through it, or
Yeah.
something like that, right? So you can make the nature of your spell as specific as you want to. Again, it's massive
And
magic.
If we did that,
Uh-huh.
then it could prevent against future efforts by
Yeah.
the
Sure.
same alien.
Or like no more dinosaur killers. Like
Okay,
um,
that's a less aggressive approach.
mhm.
That's at least saying thanks
It's-
for playing, but f you.
But
yeah.
No.
It's like
No.
Negative.
leave please.
The no.
Yeah.
The no shield.
Yeah.
No.
Okay, so we're going with the no shield approach.
Yeah.
Well,
The
we
no.
don't. I don't know that we have to. Like, we could do
What-
the
what-
technology
Let's pick
we
one.
want to.
Yeah, I'm fine with. I think that's fine.
I'm genuinely so okay either way, or whichever way.
Me too.
I'm just throwing out ideas.
What you're deciding right now is not necessarily maybe what makes the most sense, but
Yeah.
this will be the inspiration for the component pieces you're about to find.
Correct.
Right? Because whatever you pick you'll roll to see if it works.
I honestly
right?
like the idea of a shield better because it's new and different.
Cool.
Let's do.
We don't have to just.
The only thing that my
replay
brain could think
Independence
of was the virus.
No, I liked it.
Okay. So we're gonna do a shield ritual
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
protect the entire Earth.
Yeah.
To protect the
Specifically one that
entire
like comes outward from the Earth, so that if there are any like alien baddies already close to the Earth, they get pushed away.
Got it.
Yeah.
Can this also be one of the weird things that originally got us together when we were in university, discovering like area effect shield stuff that like technically was, well, that's, you know.
Yeah, maybe we were learning about it on like a smaller scale, but it's
Yeah.
like, okay,
Like a
here's the
personal
like
shield?
Yeah.
real deal.
What
Yeah.
if we tied this into Earth's natural ley lines as a
Yeah.
Ooh.
I like that idea a lot.
I'm here for it.
Okay.
I'm here for it. Okay. So we're doing a shield spell.
Yeah.
A shield ritual.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do is we need to collect the 4 components that you need for this ritual. And as a reminder, this is theoretical. And so what you as magicians are going to try to do is figure out what components would make the most sense in collaboration to accomplish something of this magnitude, which has never been attempted before. All right? So we're going to approach them one at a time. Next, let me show you this. That's your health. Ritual components. So, it's just a little bit small. Alright, so what you need is a material component, and this would be a thing, and it will need to symbolically represent the threat being faced.
Oh, like the voodoo focus. Got it.
Yep. The second component is a magical essence component, and it should symbolically represent your ritual solution. The third will be a power source that will need to fuel something of this magnitude. And the fourth is conditions. You will need to decide what conditions need to be met, whether that's environmental, time, the stars that align a certain way. You know, do you draw something on the ground? Do you need to perform a dance? Do you need a sacrifice? Like, what is it? What are the conditions that need to be present in this?
Yes.
We're going to do these one at a time because you're going to have to go find these. And we are going to actually pick them. I'll get to the quality criteria here in a second. So, without any more discussion, I need each of you to take one of these, and I am going to ask you a series of questions that we're going to narrow down what component you need. So here is the first question that I need you to answer. Come on. There it is. Here's your first question. Name something that symbolically represents the threat you are facing. So here's what's going to happen. You're each going to privately write these down and submit them to me. I'm going to rank them privately. And I'm going to either rank them D8, D12, or D20. And I'm going to evaluate them on 3 criteria, which I will show you here. Come on. They need to be magically thematic. In the game of Ritual, magic themes are always rewarded. A goblet is better than a cup. A crystal is better than a stone. Okay? It needs to be symbolically relevant. The closer an answer is to being metaphorically representative of the component being pursued, the better. And it needs to be dangerous to procure. The more exciting it sounds to get it, the higher it can be ranked. Right? Basically, I'm going to then write those down. I'm going to give them back to you. You're going to get to see each other's answers. You can then decide which one you want to move forward with, and then we'll ask further questions based on what you choose. Right? Each answer that you pick is going to contribute a dice to your final ritual dice. So you'll get 12 total, 3 per component. What will happen is the difficulty of procuring this element will be defined by the highest dice value you choose in any of the questions for this set here. So if you get a D20 in there, it will be several obstacles and a combat encounter. If you choose the D8 one, which seems pretty inane, it won't be as hard to get, but you also won't get as much to use at the end. Got it? So Biggest thing I need you to answer right now is something symbolic of the threat.
Okay.
And then when you have it, give it to me.
I don't do no thoughts.
I mean, you kept talking because I was just gonna put down like alien plushie toy, and then you kept. I'm like, okay. I don't
Yeah, I was like
Yeah, and it's all about it will get rewarded.
like a drone that looks like a flying saucer. You know.
Transmuted right now.
Boom.
Done.
Yeah.
Magically thematic, symbolically relevant, and dangerous to procure. Again, you don't have to get specific because we're going to get more specific in these later questions. So it just has to be an object itself. Okay? So when you're done, y'all are all very, you're on the same kind of basic principles.
I have more creative ideas for some of the other ones.
Okay.
I'm not sure that
Well, at least one of the other ones.
I don't know if this is good, but
Okay?
Is it the same idea that apparently Seth and I wrote down?
I will get back up again. You say night night to everybody?
No.
No.
You say bye bye? Just say bye bye.
We are feeling ourselves tonight.
Yes.
Hope we do better in the
Okay.
morning.
So what I've done is I've ranked these, and I'm going to let you see. You need to pick which one you want to move forward with. And I will tell you specifically what I'm reading in that. So, there was a UFO ship component in Area 51, an entire UFO that crash landed in
In the American Southwest. and
Yep,
is now
it's
in
now at
Area
Area 51. And then this is a piece of mineral that the aliens want.
Oh, interesting.
And do you tell us what?
I'm not going to
The
tell you
order
to the
they are,
end,
or-
right? You are trying. I need you because again, this is theory.
Sure.
So I need you to use your best sense, magically thematic, symbolically relevant, and dangerous to procure.
I feel like a mineral component would work. However, they want like all the minerals, and that might give
Yeah.
us a low roll for what the value system. If we broke into something specific like 51, that's going to put.
yeah. My thought, I didn't have a lot of room, so I didn't want to get super specific. My thought was like a very rare, like
Okay.
thing that is only on Earth, but I don't know how we would find out what that is.
Water.
Because that's the other thing.
Let
That
me throw this
we don't
out there
know
as
exactly
well.
what they want.
Don't look at the location right now because that's actually the third question in this series. So just take the actual item itself. A ship component, an entire ship, or a mineral. That's all we're working with right now. And then we're going to get more specific in these next questions.
Do you think we need an entire ship?
Well, I mean, my thought there was like, if we need to get closer to, like, get out of, just like get into space or something.
I mean,
But
it would be a big challenge.
It
but
would
I
be a
could
big
probably help with some resizing,
ooh,
right?
Yeah.
I mean, a whole spaceship. That's a tall order.
Could shrink it
We
down into
could-
an
no.
tool.
My
Right.
thought was that it's like
Right.
not necessarily like a huge spaceship.
I guess
An
we would-
escape pod?
Ultimately,
Ooh.
right, an escape pod. That was now we're still dealing with like component. But ultimately, we would have to get into Area 51 to even determine what's viable. That's
Yeah. Well, I mean, is it a thing that we could say like we're gonna go to Area 51 and steal this thing, and maybe we can get a component, and maybe we can get like the whole thing?
You have to pick one of these to move forward to. Where we haven't fully defined what it is yet. And at the end of this, I might add some more flavor to it.
Sure.
Right? So what you're trying to evaluate is a ship component, an entire ship, or a mineral. You have to evaluate that in terms of magically thematic, symbolically relevant, dangerous to procure.
I mean, obviously, an entire ship is going to be the biggest challenge,
That's going to be the hardest to procure
but also
and the most dangerous.
it would also be very thematic on point.
It would be very
because
thematic.
That's exactly what we're trying to.
Go ahead and take all kind.
What do you think?
Do you not want to, Seb?
Okay, no, let's do this.
So we do a whole ship?
I'm just nervous
Sure.
already.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, so I need you to take your cards back, and now working with the premise of an entire, you need to find a UFO.
Uh-huh.
I need you to answer this next question. What has been done to this UFO, or what does it possess that makes it the only one of its kind?
Oh.
Don't pick out a book, or I pick out a book. Yep, I pick out a book. I will, after you.
And keep in mind, you can think alien, you can think magic, you can think any other, like, think outside the box.
Uh-huh.
It's true at this point because you say it is.
I work better when I have direction. The first question is probably always going to be hard for me because it's just like anything.
Fitted?
Yeah. Sorry.
Where is your restroom?
It's first door on the right here.
Don't be surprised if there's like.
There might be a potty in there. A little kitty potty. Just move it out of the way. Can I, just to understand this, fitted as in it was magic, it came magically prepared? Or
No.
it was affected by magic when it
No,
got here?
low-key other wizards have been on staff.
Ah,
under
got it.
51, and we've also been doing experiments with it.
Okay. What does this bottoms part say?
Oh, it's powered by magic.
Get out of my head, Caleb!
Okay.
Like,
yeah.
yeah.
Enemy, galactic enemy, or
Yeah. Yeah,
Earth
yeah.
enemy.
Like a different alien race that is at odds with the Crits.
but it's here.
Yep. I think
Or maybe it's not. Again,
like, maybe
there's no
it's-
limitation to this. That's what I love about this game is I don't
it's
care.
like
Maybe you have to go to
Martian
another
or
planet.
something,
Great.
and like it crash landed on Earth.
Yeah.
But it's a prototype, so it's like genuine.
Well, again, we
like,
haven't gotten to location
one of
yet.
one.
So I'm going to just say that it's the ship.
Oh,
And
okay.
then this next one, you can tell me where it is.
Okay.
And if it's on Mars, awesome.
Yeah.
Let's figure that out.
Yeah.
How we're
Okay.
going to do this.
Cool,
okay.
cool.
So,
You need to
Oh,
get
we're
Martian
in another
Manhunter.
dimension even. Okay. This is, I'm starting to track with this.
Yeah. Maybe.
okay.
It was so good.
Have you never had a Dunkel?
Yes, I
They're
have.
so good.
Yeah, it hit me tonight. I was like, I did not realize how much
Mhm.
I needed this.
Yeah.
We can wait for it.
Yeah.
The Casey Beer Dunkel, that's
Yeah.
might be my favorite like local beer.
Yeah, that's great.
It's a really good one.
Did you take a nap today?
I didn't, but I wish I could have.
Yeah.
You?
No. Yes. No, I did. What am I saying no for? I did.
Nice.
Oh, there's a bag inside that. There's not a bag inside the bag. I messed up. Oh my gosh. This is why I don't shouldn't open people's stuff. Doesn't it look like there's a bag inside a bag?
It does look like there's a bag inside that.
not. It's the
I mean, I feel pretty confident that we can eat all those gummy worms.
I believe in us.
I thought. Never mind. I opened it wrong.
What?
So, apparently, you're supposed to open these in front somehow.
Oh, yeah.
Open back. It says open back here. It literally says there. There's a sign.
Okay.
In English. And then we do something.
I have scissors over here, dude.
No, it's
No, there's a zipper thing.
there's a
too.
zip
There's-
thing.
There's this little thing here.
It's alright, 3 grown adults are
There you go.
maybe
It's
capable
okay.
of opening a plastic bag.
Cool.
Thanks. It's been a day.
Do we have a thing?
We have a
All right. So the 3, as I'm going to paraphrase this a little bit.
So much.
So this UFO ship that you need to get, this one it was a scout ship sent ahead. Is that the dishwasher?
Something made noise.
Oh, it's dry. Okay. This says it was a scout ship. This one says it has been experimented on by magicians since it's been discovered on Earth, and so it actually has some kind of enchantment built into it of some kind, which can remain a mystery because it wasn't clarified. This says it was a prototype ship built by the enemy of the Krizit, and somehow has now a magical essence about it.
Yeah, it was built to be powered by magic, is my thought. Is that okay?
Built to be powered by magic.
Yeah.
Great.
I like your guys' better. Mine isn't very magical.
Oh, I mean, but yeah, but yours is specific. It's like
Yeah.
It's
there.
a scout ship, yeah. I don't know, I like all of these.
Yeah.
Let's go with the one that's powered by magic.
Okay.
That's my vote.
Okay. Great. All right, take them back and let's do our last question. Where is it located right now? And again, this is the only one of its kind.
Where do we want to travel to?
I've always wanted to go down. Oh God. I
Don't
ran out of
mind me
room,
doing the
so
Google
I'm just gonna
search.
tell you what the word is.
You can use another marker.
No. That word is research.
Got it.
The rest should be okay. I did the happy birthday
Beautiful.
thing with the big ass
Alright.
H.
Caleb, so help me if you have the general location.
Oh, this is not general.
Okay. That's gonna be funny.
On the 3rd floor of the 5th house. It's in a mansion in Tuscany. It's in a rundown house in Tuscany. We need to move there and we need to build it up.
I have been on such a commune kick for the past month. Bristol sounds beautiful.
Yeah.
Mars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah.
For once, we went the other direction, so that's fine.
Okay.
And Olympus Mons is specifically the largest volcano in our solar system. Just to throw that out there.
All right. An undersea research base,
Uh-huh.
Ireland research base, or on Mars.
Stop it. I don't want to go to Mars.
And here's the
Oh my
thing.
God.
There might be, when it comes to difficult to procure, there might be one on here that is obviously harder than maybe the others. Here's the thing. This is part of mitigating the risk. If I've assigned the D20 to that one, you get that for the final ritual, but you might be really happy with the other ones you've done and say, we can actually back off a little bit on this and say we may not need to go full D20 on this. But it depends. There will be obstacles, obviously, you have to face no matter what. So your call. What sounds interesting?
I just couldn't.
I just really want to go to
I couldn't not
I'm
put
homeland.
Mars on there after we were talking about it. I do really like the idea of the undersea trench. Like, that was actually. Is that what you wrote, Seth?
Yeah.
I was so close to writing the bottom of the Mariana Trench.
What?
You should
I was so close.
You should have.
Telling you. We're in each other's praise.
I mean, I assume we're talking about the Marianas Trench.
Right, I didn't know how to spell it, so that's
Undersea trench.
it was secret
The
base.
trench.
Yeah,
You know,
trench.
the big one.
The trench.
The one.
And primarily because I thought I could probably do something with transmuting water into air bubbles or something. That's
Oh,
That
it's gonna be a
sounds
water
fun.
bender?
Let's do that. I like that one.
Okay.
Okay,
Under
we're going to
the
Marianas
sea.
Trench.
Under the sea.
I don't know if we need these, but we're getting them back.
Okay. All right, so you can get those back. Give me just a second, because now what I'm going to do is write a short quest for you to do. And maybe while I'm talking, y'all can talk about how you're going to get there and what you're going to do when you get there and what you're going to do to get it out with you.
okay.
But let me throw in some. I need to put together some
We
ideas
need
here.
to be earning more.
Guys, I heard about this company called Ocean Gate.
Oh no. No.
They're doing these like tourists like summer.
No.
Oh,
No.
I don't trust my technology.
I'm sorry. It was just-
So you are good at phasing
Yeah.
through things,
Yeah.
though.
I could probably phase into this ship whenever we find it.
yeah.
Okay.
Just zoop right in there.
Once you're in, is there any way we could telepathically communicate so that you could open it up for us then? Okay.
Yeah, we can message back and forth.
The telepathy, like minor telepathy, was a
That's just
common
a,
magic.
Yeah, right.
That's an
Like-
easy thing. We just can't do like a lengthy messages, but just
Yeah.
like a quick back and forth.
I imagine like this is the version of message. You know.
Yeah.
So we are gonna need to get down.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, I drank this way too fast. I'm so bubbly. Got bubbles.
Yeah.
Do we just want to steal the submarine, or have a magical means?
How close can we teleport to the area?
I don't
I mean,
know.
I feel like we probably can teleport like to the Mariana Trench. I just don't necessarily think that's a particularly good idea.
We
So-
need some way to like protect ourselves
Yeah.
from the pressure.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not necessarily shapeshifters per se, but what are the chances we could cast like a polymorph spell on ourselves?
Can I like phase
It'd be high. It'd be high difficulty.
into the water?
Whoa.
Just like phase
Mm-hmm.
Go
into
ghost.
the water. Does that make sense what I'm asking?
Yes. The higher degree of difficulty is while you are phasing, do you need to breathe? Because the pressure wouldn't be much because you have all this immunity against physical
Yeah,
attacks.
when I'm
But if you still
phasing,
need air in
I'm
some
immune,
way,
I'm immune to all physical threats but cannot inflict physical threats.
Can we use our powers on each other?
I'm gonna say a tentative yes.
Mhm.
I'm curious what you mean by that.
Yeah. Like, could Rowan phase all of us so that the pressure isn't a problem? But then, like,
Yeah.
we kind of maybe tag team, like, either
So-
transmuting, like, the oxygen out of the water so that we can breathe, or maybe, like, I'll use my, like, telekinesis to hold a bubble around us.
Yeah.
A couple of clarifications here.
Mhm.
My vision for this
Yeah.
was that getting there would not be as much of the challenge as what you do when you're there.
Okay.
So you've picked a unique place, but my assumption is you can teleport anywhere you need to go, right? And Raphael can probably tell you where this. He's got enough. He
Yeah.
should know where this UFO thing
Sure.
is, right? So if you need to know
Same.
where you're
Yeah.
teleporting, great. You may show up in a public area or something like that, but you don't necessarily need to
on the
figure out
ocean.
like a submarine down there. I'm more interested in the quest of what are you going to do when you get there, and how are you getting out?
Oh,
Right?
because we
that make
we
sense?
could teleport into the base, which itself is.
Is there a base, or is this just... Is
It's
this thing-
I was told it was a research laboratory.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Under the sea.
I was picturing just...
Well, I was thinking like ship driving down and then like airlocks and getting through. So
okay.
A couple of
So we could
clarifications.
just teleport into the base.
We're still not making
Yes.
magicians.
And getting
We're learning.
out, you would need to figure out how to get out of there, right?
I
So if this is a,
presumably
like...
we can teleport back out.
If you have 10 minutes.
Is this a
Fair enough.
magician... is this a magician base? Just a normie base?
I assumed it was a normie base. However, there's some undercover magicians who work there and have been secretly.
Solid spec, yeah.
Yeah.
How many
Solid theory.
times can you know a guy?
How does it
How many
say?
times can I know
I
that?
don't know. What did I know?
Utilize network of contacts around the world to
Network.
inform, aid, supply, and heal.
Sounds like you might know a
Inform,
guy.
Aid, supply, and heal. The odds of you knowing the very small skeleton staff on this
Yeah.
are insanely high.
Sure.
So we could roll for it,
Mm-hmm.
but if you won't get anything if you fail
Okay.
for that.
But there probably won't be.
Again, the more obscure the contact,
Sure.
the higher likelihood you don't.
Sure.
Somebody there.
I mean,
For physicality, just a clarification. Physicality magic, if you're using your discipline, is only to your own body.
Got it.
So everyone could phase, but your
But there's like a
difficulty would be
roll
much, much higher.
it's going to be a lot harder
Right.
for us.
And it just comes so naturally to you to be able to do stuff. But that's not something you can project on other people. You obviously can use telekinesis to move people
Yeah.
around.
Yeah, you can make a bubble.
Yeah, that's kind of
Transmuting water
that's
to
kinda
air.
nice.
Okay, I think it'd probably be better to just get a scuba tank.
Yeah.
Right. I don't know that you actually need to sit there and just constantly be, right?
I don't know. I'm trying to think of like magic ways to do things.
I know.
You're right. You're right.
I don't know.
I want to magic everything.
Okay. So, is that what you want to do? Would you like to teleport to the Marianas Trench?
We're gonna teleport into
Into
the
the
base, mosey around, see what happens when you find a guy. But also, I mean, here's
Yeah, can you see if you know a guy? Go
Yeah,
into your
I mean-
mind palace real quick.
Yeah.
and
Mind
roll
power
your-
roll up.
Dex.
Roll will.
Yeah, roll your will die.
8 plus. I mean, do I get +5?
Not for knowing a guy,
Okay.
right?
Mhm.
No idea.
I didn't think so.
You didn't even know this
Yeah.
thing was here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can get.
you could use one of your magicka.
Oh
You
yeah.
can use a thing.
What do I?
It's pretty high.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
I mean, there's like
Sure.
yeah,
There's
a couple
probably-
dozen
yeah.
people on this,
Yeah.
and it has been under lock and key.
Which means then, when we teleport into it, people are, where did you come from? That's
Uh-huh.
going to be the next thing.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Yeah. So maybe we need some.
Can we try to find a guy before we go down there?
Well,
You know what I mean?
I think we can stay in hiding and you can stealth.
Phase around.
Yeah, see what you can. We're gonna count on you to scout here.
Yeah.
Now, phasing doesn't make you invisible,
Yeah.
right?
I can phase into the walls and stuff.
Yeah, of course. It's nice.
Deadly kiss.
Mr.
Also,
Solid.
they're not anticipating someone just ducking under a table because
Yeah.
you would be here. They're in the bottom of
Right.
the ocean.
Like. Okay. I think we do need to figure out some sort of like. Good night, CC.
Can you say goodnight? Caleb, say goodnight. Can you say goodnight? Okay, sting your butt. Can you say goodnight to Caleb? Can you say goodnight? See.
Okay.
Good night.
I feel like we need like some sort of contingency plan for getting out in case we don't have 10 minutes.
This is powered by Arcade Power. There's a chance I could fly it out.
It's cool.
It depends on how my rolls go, which are not promising tonight. But
Yeah.
Well, I think that's our plan.
yeah.
I like
We're gonna
it.
fly it out.
okay.
The other contingency. So it's a 10-minute ritual. Can you,
What are you gonna say, Seth?
start a ritual and then just like
Pause.
hold?
It's going to start to finish. Everyone has to be present.
Do you say goodnight? Okay. That was a little creepy, Seth.
Well, you guys can like make a little hidey place for you to hunker down in. I can always phase through whatever you make, and then I can just go in there.
Could you-
So if I'm pursued by bear,
Sure.
with like transmutation, like could you like open a hole in a wall for us to like walk through and then like close it behind us?
Sure. I assume these walls would have been very thick and well built. I'm sure we could open up a space.
Just be careful not to open it into the ocean.
Right. No, internal walls. Internal walls.
Right. And it's fine. I can magically reinforce it. They won't.
Yeah.
They won't.
Sure. Okay.
So the plan is to teleport in.
Uh-huh.
We are going to have a completely hidden hidey hole. She's going to scout around for the ship.
Okay.
And then we're going to try to hijack it.
How
Okay.
far can one send messages with
That's
it
great.
not
So
being
on
like
there, did I put telepathy on there?
possible?
Because actually I have,
It's fighting.
Nope.
here we go. I'll
I mean,
show you.
Like you put, I think it's under the.
I have a new page I can show you.
Oh.
Here we go. All right. So this is the what you can do. This is the common magic version, proficient, expert, and then super high.
Oh,
So
common is
telepathy,
just 5 words within
right?
5 feet.
Okay,
That's
so
common
that's like-
magic, right? 25-word message within 25 feet. A conversation within 1 mile would be in the 9 to 12 range, unless you have a discipline in this.
So that's probably not a great option.
I mean,
Can we bring some walkie-talkies with us?
Sure, you can.
I
not?
I could do that, but also,
Uh-huh.
I mean, my IQ is my highest, so I could probably talk.
Oh,
Yeah.
your IQ.
Well, the proficient level
I
isn't
didn't
so
realize that
hard.
you were IQ based.
It isn't so hard, but like 25-word message within 25 feet.
Does
I
not
can at
get us
least-
very far.
Yeah, I could at least, let you guys know without having to be right up on you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you could like walk outside of the Arlo Heidi place.
And then come back and message.
I think this is a great idea.
Okay. Well, we're going to
Let's
try
go
it.
for
And
it.
worst case scenario, if you're not getting through, you can just walk all the way. Like,
Okay,
buddy, hop back.
Just fake it.
great. So let's teleport with your walkie-talkies. So
Yeah.
everyone can roll your luck die, and we'll see if you make it down to the Marianas Trench. 10. All right, 10 on 10.
You get
Yes.
to think.
Great, you get a new Magica, Super Magica.
About time.
Great.
They're magical.
So as you finish drawing your circle in Raphael's basement, you find yourself in a clearly military, industrial, underwater research laboratory. Everything is metal. See, everything is very white. You show up right inside the doorway. You have about one move before somebody walking by will see
Immediately, I just hollow out a space within.
you. The closest wall.
Yep, the closest wall.
That is
Okay.
not exterior.
Yeah.
Okay.
Specifically, one that's not going to bring the ocean in on us.
Magically reinforced. Because I don't know what's structural and what's not.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. So you make a hole in it. What do you turn the wall into? Because you're changing it from one thing to another, like to
Actually,
air, or
Well, I guess I was thinking more of like a shape metal where it just bent.
Could you like change the density of the metal such that it's like compresses?
It just like, and then you could slurp it back.
That's what I was kind of thinking
Shlorp
because I wanted this to be
Shlorp.
hidden. So like I would, however it would make to inflate, hollow out a section that still is magically reinforcing it. I think hollow is
so are you trying to get inside a wall?
100%. So
Okay.
he and I will be in the wall, close it like full on Poe style. Just he and I sitting in the
Yeah.
Okay.
this little air bubble
Because
of
then
the
I
wall.
can phase through.
So transmuting it to something else.
Okay.
If you're just creating a hole, you can roll like whatever. If you want to use your magic discipline, you're taking the wall that's made of metal and turning it into something else, and then you want to somehow get that wall made back. So you're
Yes.
changing it from one thing to another,
Yes.
right? Or I think there's one, if you want to do something a little bit higher difficulty, you literally make a door with a knob. Like you can,
You're gonna swap items.
right? You swap items and then just change it back when you get inside. That would be 2 rolls, but that would be 10 level difficulty.
I need more of these.
Okay, so roll twice. One to turn it into the door, which you can do it like cool Star Trek, like whoosh, like the whole sliding door. It doesn't have to be the knob bedroom door.
Oh.
Ooh, is it natural 1?
Oh,
Okay,
dear.
roll a d20 here.
Oh, yo. A D20. Uh-oh. Could be bad.
Oh yeah, that's not too
That's
bad.
the same one again.
Nice.
Okay, so
That's just your thing.
all
that you do.
stealth is lost.
I've got to get in here fast.
I phase into a wall.
Do we like see the door starting to open?
It the transmutation with a natural 1 doesn't go according to plan. Actually, here's what I was going to say is you open it up, but it doesn't open up into a wall. It opens up into the next room.
Funky.
Right?
Okay.
And you are now lit up like a torch.
I have phased into a different wall.
Okay, you're gone. You're gone.
Is
I'm
there
ghost-
okay? 2 questions.
I am
Yeah.
ghosted.
Okay.
Like you said, there was somebody about to come through the door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Around the corner.
Oh, around the
Say
corner.
Around the corner.
Okay, so it's not like through a
Like
door
we're in a
that I can
hallway?
like telekinetically slam shut on them.
Right.
Okay.
You hear a click clacking of footsteps.
And-
He's made one move. She's made one move. What do you want to do?
Is there anybody in
Sorry,
this
they
room
have made one move.
that?
Oh, good question. You know what? Let's call that a luck roll.
Okay.
Why not? And let's
What are you
see.
trying to do?
The higher luck you have. Did you roll a natural 1 too?
You know, maybe.
Okay.
Is that a one?
There is someone in there, and they see
Here.
you two, him glowing inexplicably.
Yeah.
And I need you to roll a d20.
Uh-huh.
And actually, for I like to do that for magic. You weren't looking magically,
Yeah.
right? It was just the chance of it.
Yeah.
Since it's not magical, I'm not gonna have a magical.
Is there anybody in this room?
Right.
that-
So we're not going to do a backlash for
Okay.
that. But that was bad luck.
Okay.
And there is someone in there, and they have now seen you two.
Okay. Shove him. I like this person. Like we just can't let him like just kind of see us.
Okay, it's like a scientist in the room. Like they're on a computer.
they're magic.
They're in a white lab coat, and they turn around and see both of you.
Okay. Then could I just like so that this person doesn't see me using magic per se?
Okay.
I don't know that might be lost at this point.
I'm glowing.
Like,
I don't think they're looking at you right now,
Yeah.
right?
can I just like
The
reach
gay
out
cowboy
with
End of
over
the
here.
their
scene
hand and like
too. So it's
yank
still
their foot
going.
out from under them and like trip them up?
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's easy. I mean, just like knocking them over, like taking their legs out from under them. I won't even make you roll for that.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
I kind of wanted to roll that. Yeah.
make it more
Get a
complicated.
magic
No.
token.
What do you're trying to knock them out? Or are you trying to?
Trying to knock them out so
Well,
we
we-
can convince them they just had a concussion. It's all a dream.
I mean, put them to sleep. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, can
Oh.
we?
It's not telekinesis. but-
Well, no. I'm trying to.
Yeah.
Let me get
or
there. Let me
memory
get there.
modification.
He's cooking.
There's no reason why you can't do memory modification.
That would probably be a will thing, right?
Mm-hmm. You're
Uh-huh.
controlling. Yeah.
Is Will your thing?
Will's my thing. Now, memory modification isn't my discipline, so I'm not necessarily as good at it.
But still.
Yeah.
Do
Let's try some memory modification. Like,
Make him
just
think that we're new guys.
Uh-huh.
We're supposed
Okay.
to be
Yeah.
here.
Yeah. We're the new batch of scientists coming in.
Okay. So we'll call this a will roll, and we're going to take it. So the way we have this would fall under like the hypnotism. So this would be compelling an individual kind of to do something that they didn't want to do. Right? He doesn't want to forget this.
Right.
So we are going to have you roll for it, but we're going to make it a 5.
Okay.
Right?
Can I-
It's a simple. It's only a few seconds into
Yeah.
this. He was surprised, right? He could you
Although-
could tap into his doubt because this is not normal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I also suggest? I don't know if I'm allowed to do this or not. That it's not that we are the new guys here.
Uh-huh.
We're the new alien contacts that are supposed to investigate the work.
Sure.
Like,
Yeah.
because I'm
Like
glowing.
we're the we are aliens.
Yeah,
Or
that we are the alien contacts that the government
Uh-huh.
has sent to like investigate the work so far. Like we're the good aliens.
I have
Yeah.
no idea how that's gonna go, and I love it so much.
Okay.
That
That might be a little more
that'll
difficult.
up it just a little bit. So
Oh,
we'll
okay.
make that an 8.
Okay, sorry. So
That's
you
still
decide
doable.
which one we want to do.
That's still doable.
It's
That's
doable.
Not
It's
bad.
getting harder though.
Yeah, we're hurting.
We have
Uh-huh.
points.
Yep. But the
I
goal
have
of this is
money.
to get more coins.
That's okay.
And you know what?
We need to get
We
to
gotta
the
try
place.
it anyway.
We get
though.
to the place.
Hope
Do
this
it.
isn't another one. That's a
That's
12,
a little-
baby.
12 on a 12. All right,
Uh-huh.
Magica for you. Super Magica here.
We got coins.
All right.
Fucking love coins.
So as you conduct this part, and because it's a 12, not only is this guy forgetting what he's believing to be true, but also he doesn't see you cast the spell.
Right.
So he looks over at you and he says, "Oh, you're here. Nobody came to greet you. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. Please, can I introduce you to oh God, we weren't prepared. You see, like he's not hired for his social skills, right?
Yes, I understand. But
Here's a name badge.
Yes, it is Carlos.
Dr. Carlos, welcome. I am Zora.
Please, I'm just a technician here. Please, what's your name?
Zorg.
You're glowing, sir.
I do
Yeah.
that
Ring
in
too?
the Earth's
I'm in the
biosphere.
wall.
It's
do you
strange.
want to?
Oh well, it is truly a
I mean,
pleasure.
don't
We
have time to
come in
communicate
peace.
this.
Yes.
It's entirely up to you.
Yeah.
Probably, but yeah. They're part of this as well. That they like. There's
And they
another
know all.
person in their mind that they like know is coming.
So they know 3 people.
Uh-huh.
Okay,
Yeah.
sounds good.
The introductions will be unnecessary. If you could just point us in the direction of the spacecraft.
Oh, certainly. Well, I mean, you would have to get. What would be a good title for this? Lieutenant Sergey would absolutely have to accompany you. I'll call him right now. He starts like in.
Unnecessary.
Oh no! It's please. We are so unprepared for this. He truly has to get there. He's like dialing through.
Uh-huh. Sure. Okay. Can I telekinetically rip the phone out? Rip the cord of the phone
He's
out?
not
of the
looking at you anymore.
As,
He's
Yeah.
like,
as this goes through, I want to
Like be patting him on the hand and then get the I want his phone to talk to like my cell phone.
to call you.
Yeah, whatever he's doing. So
Great.
like,
Okay, roll an IQ roll to interact with technology.
that's a 12 plus 2. Come on.
12. Oh wow.
plus
Okay.
2 is 14.
These super tokens might be a little liberal.
Hey,
How often do you
Yeah, you
roll
don't
max?
I don't know.
Right.
Right? This is
Like-
awesome.
Like I feel like we've just gotten lucky.
yeah. We've
Well,
also
let's-
gotten profoundly unlucky on certain things.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
there
yeah.
we go.
We did
Like-
just roll like 3 ones in a row too.
Right.
True. And you're still glowing.
I'm still glowing.
All right.
Yeah.
So you're able to,
Yep.
and all of a sudden your phone buzzes on your hip.
Yep. As it's ringing, I'm gonna just sort of walk around the corner and then answer it.
Okay. Are you gonna try to disguise your voice at all, or
100%.
okay? All you know is that his name is Lieutenant Sergey.
Yeah.
Sound like raspy.
It's
Like
like
you just
Sergey's
woke up.
office. What you got?
Sir, they're here. They've apparently been sent by the government to inspect the ship. He kind of looks over your shoulder and kind of smiles at you all. Be like, they are just inside they're in the tech lab right now, and I'm sure that I just wanted you to know that that they're here and
Thank you.
probably need to be escorted. They've requested to see the ship, sir.
Yeah, take them directly to the ship. I will meet you there.
Great. Let's figure out deception. Let's do will.
Will.
Actually, let's do luck. Luck would be a great deception,
Luck
right?
is better.
Because you're trying to believe that it's...
I have phased out of wall now, by the way.
Token?
Okay.
Token?
I can only make it 5. That's not good.
5 will work. 5 will work for basic deception.
Okay.
And again, he's
That
so
is-
flustered and so distracted right now and has no reason to doubt what's going on. Sir, I don't have the right clearances to get into that space.
You do.
Sir, your orders were very clear that only you know the code to get in and out. You let every staff in and out of the room with the ship, sir.
Stand by there. I will give you the code in just a second. I actually have to look it up. Go ahead and escort them to the doors, and I will call. I'll get a runner down to you and give it to you when you get there.
Sir, yes, sir. I will meet you there. I will take them there right away.
Okay.
You did say that you were going to meet him there.
Yeah.
Okay. So he hangs up and he's like, please, honored guests, can I offer you coffee or I'm not sure. I don't know what you drink. Water? Do you?
What is coffee?
Is that it?
It's like, it's fine. It's you know what? It's not. Please just come with me.
Yes.
The lieutenant said he would meet us at the ship as you requested.
We're on a deadline.
I telepathically hit all of you with the message. We've got to get the codes to the door. Unless you can just let us in.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was my thought.
This facility is not that big. I mean, it is underwater constructed.
Yeah.
Clearly, it almost definitely required some magical support to make this even a thing, right? Nobody can come to the bottom of the Mariana Trench. So it's a series of hallways. It is an elevator down 3 levels, but you get to a steel door with 2 keypads on it. No windows, but Carlos just turns around and says, so I'm sure the lieutenant will be just a second, but it's right over on the other side of this wall. I have to tell you, it's such an honor meeting you all.
I'm telepathically telling them to distract him so that I can phase through the door.
Can I try to put him into sleep spell?
Of course you can. Yeah, so that would be a will. You're imposing your will upon his trying to overcome him. Now, this will be a contested roll to see if he can do this. Normal NPCs have D6s in all traits.
Okay.
And so there's always a chance you could fail, or they could on you, but we'll do a contested here.
I'll try this one since I've got better will.
Okay. Sounds good.
Go to sleep, Carlos. 11.
11. You rolled a 2.
Good.
So you see him just all of a sudden go, like, crumple on the ground and start breathing heavily on the floor.
Yeah. Is there like a supply closet or something around that we can shove him in?
Make a luck roll. I'm now finding ways to use luck. I
8.
love this. Yes, there is a supply closet around.
How cute is Carlos?
How cute?
Ooh.
I imagine I just in
Don't
my
do anything
brain,
weird.
no, I have to be some like, Chinese young adult dude, like some kind of, nerdy computer tech.
Carlos. The most Chinese name.
Right, of course. I guess not that.
It's fine.
He's biracial.
Okay, there you go.
That's fine. As we
They were trying to acclimate to their surroundings. They moved to Mexico.
we're gonna just put him in there, and I'm thinking, oh, babes, and another time I would have absolutely taken you out.
It's perfect.
Yeah, that's it.
Right. Okay. So half Asian, half Hispanic.
What a combo.
Sounds
Right?
great.
I
Sounds
love
great.
it.
Love it, love
We
it.
love Carlos.
Okay, so you get him into a supply closet,
Yeah.
Shut the
right?
door.
He's
Shut
just
the door.
racially ambiguous.
Guys, what if we take Carlos with
Right.
us?
So you're through the
No,
door.
we're not gonna kidnap a man. What?
Are you through the door?
Gary face through the door.
Okay. As you face through the door, you come into a well-lit dome. And in the middle, it's not a giant ship. It probably, comparatively speaking, could fit. It's more like an X-wing. Like it could fit maybe 1 or 2 humanoid-sized figures in there, and it's got a couple of arms, kind of stand up. There are 3 technicians in the room that are doing things. You have someone on a balcony level that's on a computer. You have someone that's actually down, and 2 people that are actually down at the bottom of the ship looking at something.
I'm gonna hide
Okay,
so that they don't see me.
great. Make a luck roll to hide.
Well, this says discipline applications. One of them is literally hide.
Yeah. I'll say for you, if all you're doing and they haven't noticed you yet, like we'll just call that a common magic version for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Phase into a thing. Or
I
phase into the
think
darkness.
if you're going to use your discipline, I think you should roll because you could get. If you succeed, you get a token, right?
Phase into the darkness.
Okay.
12!
Great.
Yay!
Super token.
Bonus one!
And you are invisible to them right now.
Yay. Hooray.
An easy way to make that, make those tokens more valuable is just up the size of the dice. You know, instead of D6, D8, D12, make it like D8, D10, D12, D20 or something.
I tried that in one of my earlier iterations because I want to have level up options.
Sure.
So my hope is that if this became a campaign, then you could start leveling up your dice, and I wanted to have somewhere to go.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
That makes sense.
But I don't hate that idea.
It's a thought. Or multiple dice could get involved.
Well, and again, y'all are doing. I'm rewarding it for all magic.
Mm-hmm.
Originally, it was just discipline magic. The idea is that you're practicing. This is a reward for I've done it correctly. Now I know what it feels like. Right?
Sure.
But let's keep going.
Yeah.
I also could put a cap on that super magic tokens too.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
you could only have 3 at any given point in time or whatever.
Sure.
Or keep it at the 5, and then theoretically you could get +5 +3s.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so...
So you're hiding,
Yeah.
and y'all are out, and the lieutenant is on his way.
Lieutenant's on his way?
Oh, the lieutenant's not on his way.
I mean,
You're just down there.
yeah.
He's not
That's right.
real.
That's
Well,
right.
he's real, but
Is
they
the-
didn't
yeah, just
actually
kidding.
talk to him.
Yeah,
If he is on his way,
He's
we
the
don't know
lieutenant.
it.
you're still
Yeah.
glowing,
He could-
right?
Is this still the same scene?
Yeah, the quest is the scene.
Oh,
Okay.
no.
Cool.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
What happened?
So, are you letting us in, or are you not?
Well,
are
I'm
you...
kind of gonna. I want to observe the movement of the people and make sure that, like, because I.
check out to see how many are wizards.
Yeah, is there a way to like vibe check and like be able to tell who's a magician and who's not, who's a normie?
There has to be a. Isn't there? There's a spell in Harry Potter that does that, right? Like,
I don't know.
yeah, sure. Let's do a detect magician something.
Yeah.
Make that an IQ check.
Great, my first one. Woo! Okay, I got a 6.
6
I got
on
a
your-
6 on the 6.
6 on a 6. You get another super.
Cool.
Yes. Because you rolled the difficulty was not high. Again, this is barely a proficient thing. But the fact that you rolled your highest, I'm going to say no one in this room is, but someone in this research facility is.
Well, yeah, that makes sense. But I was hopeful that
Probably the lieutenant general guy.
the guy in charge.
Maybe.
But he's
Maybe.
but he's
But-
not in the room.
Nope.
It would also feel very appropriate for it to be like, the lieutenant is like the military guy who's running the place.
Yeah.
And then he's like, got this lackey or something.
Yeah, there's a different person. He's Carlos
Maybe.
the one magic
The whole time.
Is Carlos the wizard? Maybe we will take Carlos.
He has to stay here. They need a magical person. Okay. Cool. Awesome.
Okay.
I mean, can I open the door, or does it on this side? Does it require a keypad? entry
Getting in and out
also?
requires double keypad.
I mean, can't you do your transmutation thing again and just put another doorknob on here or something?
I could.
Or
Yeah.
change the locking mechanism into like a bubble bath or
A bubble bath.
I don't know. It was the first thing that came to mind.
I could, but again, we're going to run into the situation that as soon as I open this door, they're going to see me, so we would have to act.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to knock some people out. I
Yeah.
get a +2 to physicality rolls for melee combat.
Mm-hmm.
Can I?
Well, and I'll let you, if you want to flavor it with phasing, like, because I put partial phase on there.
Yeah.
So, like, why can't you, like,
Phase through the
phase through
wall.
partially and then,
Yeah.
I just think Martian Manhunter's definitely done that before, right?
Yeah.
coming from the wall.
Yeah. So I'm gonna watch him for a little bit and like see. I'm gonna send him a message and be like, "Hang tight,"
Yeah.
because that's
Okay.
a
You got
short
this.
little thing. That,
Okay, do you want to go to the guy at the computer or the two guys down?
I'm gonna go with Solo Man first.
Okay.
Just so, because I want them to keep them separate. And,
Okay.
yeah.
You rolled really high on your stealth, so I'm going to say you're able to sneak up behind him. What do you want to do?
Punch him in the head.
Okay. So this will be a contested.
Through the screen. Do I use my D12 for my physicality?
Yes, you do.
Okay. Then I get a +2
If-
for it
Yep.
because it's melee combat.
Got this.
No.
Uh-oh.
Ooh, and he rolled a 5 to contested. So, a couple of things. You rolled a 1, so I need you to roll a d20.
D20! Oh no! Okay, where's my D20 there?
But
The whole point is you're augmenting your physical ability,
Here's
right?
my 8. Karst Reflection. For one scene, your shadow acts independently of you, mimicking sinister versions of your actions. It hampers your physicality and reduces it by one size until the end of the scene. Oh no, the worst thing that could happen.
It's like,
so to
Oh,
be clear,
no.
so she has a +5 to her attack.
nope, because
No,
that
it's
wasn't.
a +2.
Oh.
So my stat bonus is +2 to physicality rolls for melee combat or object structures.
Narratively, we're saying she was able to use some phasing to do it,
Yep.
but it was a physical attack.
Got you.
Right?
Got you.
That she got a bonus to.
Yeah.
Got it.
Well, in her case, not enough of a bonus.
Yep. No.
Now, you didn't use any magic tokens as well, but your natural 1 is like an automatic failure.
Yeah, that's what I was
So even if
figuring.
you had rolled low, you could have
Yeah.
bumped it above what
If
you,
I'd have gotten a 2, it would have been a 4, and then I just
you could have
throw a
thrown that,
token
and then
in
you would have meted
Yeah.
it.
Does it?
So-
Is it meets it beats it, or do I have to
Yeah,
like
meets it,
beat
beats it.
Okay.
Meets it. So your fist swings wide, but it's enough to alert him to your presence. And he turns around and looks at you as you stand there, and he hits a big red button.
Oh no!
And alarms start going off. You both hear this on the
We
outside.
gotta go.
Get us in there.
I'm just going to put my hands on the whole locking mechanisms thing, the
Okay.
keypads, and turn them into goo.
So not on the door, on the keypads themselves?
Right, whatever's locking the door.
We could just
'Cause
do
I'm-
the
okay.
door.
Like, presumably there's a physical lock.
I was
Somewhere.
assuming it was some sort of electronic.
I mean, I was envisioning it like one of these, like,
Sure.
Oh.
like doors. Since you are an IQ-based character,
Yeah.
like this will probably just permanently lock the door,
Okay. Then
right? Because there'll be no way to open it. It won't
Yeah.
open the door.
I was assuming it was held by like electromagnetic locks or something that would just power down. But that's fine.
Yes,
Let's do
but
the
it'll
door.
power down locked.
door.
We'll put
Let's
it that way. right?
let's do the door.
Okay, so what do you transmute it into?
I think just like a really thin
Kind of
thing of
goo.
like
Ooh,
You can do goo if you want to.
I was wanting something
ambiguous
to melt.
goo.
Just
Okay.
something like
Chocolate.
Okay.
no that
So as the door melts, you walk in, and make a luck roll for me. Actually, I'm going to give you credit. Actually, roll your transmutation first to melt the door.
and that is a 12. So plus 5 is an 8. An 8.
Yeah, 8 is good enough to
Okay.
do what you're doing. Now roll a luck die to see if they see you do this.
Everybody in
Hey,
here's
they're paying
dying.
attention to me, right?
A 7.
For
it's
luck,
me.
yeah, I'll say that they don't see the door melt, and as they see you enter the room because you're glowing,
Yeah.
but they do not see the magical effect happening.
Okay.
That makes sense? So the
Okay.
secret has not technically been broken yet. All right, you walk in. The guy is now running on the balcony away from you,
That's fine. We just need the ship.
right? But there are alarms going down.
That's okay.
Wait, we say this as we look around. Is there an obvious like garage door? Like exit? Is it just in a bubble? Like how did it get?
Is
here?
there like a...
The perception is they may have built this thing around the ship,
The ship.
right?
Oh, no.
So
That's a
it's
problem.
not. They didn't. It appears that unless magic is involved, there was no way this thing was ever going to leave this space.
How good you
physically.
feel in its phasing.
I have a question.
Okay.
Because I know you said, so my discipline of phaser is like my physicality. Is there a world where I can extend it out to the whole ship to phase it through the wall?
Yes, but it wouldn't be your discipline. It would
Okay.
be you are because you are actually manipulating an object. That would be a will-based roll. You're imposing your will against.
Would that be
other will.
more?
Now that's something. It would be.
If we can get inside it and do a ritual all together to our powers combined, get it out of here.
Because this would be a great thing to
are
do
we able
collaborative
teleport-
magic
Are
on.
we able to teleport the ship
With
us?
With a big enough teleportation circle.
Let's do that.
I mean, but that's gonna take us 10 minutes, right?
Yeah, we gotta get inside.
Yeah, which we don't have.
Oh, okay.
I mean, right? Like,
Probably not.
You know, there's at least
Sure.
one magic user in the facility right now, like in
Yeah.
the research lab.
Is there a way where somebody could shoot out a message and just like Hail Mary, try to contact the one magical person?
Like you would just want to telepathically.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it would be. What did we say for telepathy up here? You'd probably have to go 9, difficulty of 9.
I can try.
That's a
Yeah.
IQ based.
and what are we trying to do?
And
with
what are
this?
you trying to do?
Let him know. Sorry, I have to borrow this. Fate of the world is
Yeah.
cover for us.
You're trying to
Yeah.
negotiate for it.
Yeah, just
Okay.
letting them know that.
That's what's going on.
So what you're rolling for is to see if your telepathic message gets to it.
Right, I understand. Probably not. No, I don't have anything extra for.
Well,
that.
here.
4.
Well, he said 9.
9.
It has to be
And
9.
7's not
Yeah,
gonna cut it.
Yeah.
7's not going to cut it.
Yeah.
So you send a telepathic message out in the heat of the moment, but you don't sense the mind you're looking for.
Like maybe this place is extra shielded or something.
Mhm.
Okay.
Well, are you able to?
Take them out.
I mean,
Yeah.
could we...
When you say take them out,
There's 3 people running crazy around here. Like but they got to be stopped.
a small reminder, one of the prime directives is you cannot kill the innocent.
Oh, yeah. Okay, one of my ideas was just transmute the roof of this place into the water and then, like...
But kill them. For sure.
Yes!
Yeah.
That's because I was forgetting about that rule.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, that was my idea, now we got
The
scrapped.
world is worth saving.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, the world is worth saving at the expense of a few...
You.
Let's see if we can. Let's see if we can get inside. Let's see if we can get inside the spaceship first while
Yeah.
all of this is happening.
Yeah.
The chaos.
Well, I can.
Do you want to try and get inside the spaceship while we deal with the 3 in here?
Yeah. We could beat him up. Just knock him out.
I'm
Tie
going
him up.
to try to then make a door on the spaceship.
Okay.
I'm assuming it's locked. Is it open? You said it's an X-wing fighter.
Yes. It has multiple kind of appendages on it and then kind of a central hub, but it's not like somewhere you could walk around. Like it's like 3 people, there's like 2 seats
Okay.
inside it.
Does
Okay.
it look like we could, like,
Is that
squeeze a third
obvious?
person in?
Yeah. Are we gonna be able to fit?
With a phaser? Sure.
Yeah. Oh
Okay.
yeah. I could just phase into the.
Go, go,
Right? You might just have to like
I don't need
hang
a
out in
seat.
the...
Does it have an obvious hatch? That's my question. Because I was still imagining it like.
Yes, I will say that it is open.
Okay. Then yeah.
Like you can climb into it because they've been doing all of these experiments. Point of order, in general, concentration effects are 10 minutes before you have
Okay.
to re-up a spell.
Okay.
That's just kind of standard, unless you have something that tells you can do something different. So
Sure.
you can stay phased for 10 minutes, like hiding in a wall or whatever, until you have to re-up it. All right, so you get down. There are 2 scientists on the ground that have now seen Glowing Man and you,
Yeah.
and the guy is running around on the balcony. They are in your way if you want to try to climb into this thing.
I mean, my...
They're freaking out. We
like,
just go by them. They're not fighters.
we come in peace.
Yeah.
My telekinesis is stuff that's not necessarily, like, people notice that, yeah?
It depends on how high you roll, right? I mean, it does require magic to be cast.
Right.
Now everyone's probably looking at him glowing.
Okay.
what's
so,
my shadow
I
list
mean,
doing?
like,
Yeah, right.
I'm just trying to.
Acting independently of you?
yeah, what's he doing?
I don't know. You tell me. What's he doing?
It says sinister versions of your actions, so I'm not really doing anything yet. So.
It's just stay on the
It's
ground.
just standing
I
there.
feel like
This-
like Princess and the Frog, like Dr. Basili, like it's
Yeah.
chasing this poor guy
Oh
around.
no.
Well, then now they're seeing magic.
yeah.
I won't say he's seen it yet. Again, I didn't want. You've had enough bad things happen.
I mean, like, could I use? Could I whatever this telekinesis thing that gives me the physicality too?
Okay.
Can I like just do that and then kind of use that augmented physicality in a like conjunction with the telekinesis to like trip people up just enough that like my hits land a little better or
So,
something, but it's not super noticeable.
Will-based combat magic is ranged magic.
Okay.
So yeah, what are you trying to accomplish here?
Like,
You want to hurt them?
I don't necessarily want to hurt them, but like subdue them.
Like knock them out?
Yeah, I mean maybe like put them in the closet with Carlos or something.
Okay.
you know.
Without them learning about magic?
Yes, without them learning about magic.
Okay.
Ideal.
Okay.
You know, and so that's why I'm trying to say like, is this something that can be done subtly?
So Carlos is in the closet up on the balcony level. They're on the ground.
Okay.
So if you wanted to try to kidnap them or put them to sleep or knock them out or something, you have to drag them back up the stairs
You're
or
trying to
float them
punch
up
them
the
again.
stairs, right?
Yeah.
If you can.
Well, that's essentially what I'm trying to do is like, but just using telekinesis to do some of that, is do that lifting. But I'm also, can you help me understand how the telekinesis like affects the physicality? Because like maybe it's not working the way I thought it was.
I'm open to your suggestions on that. I'm trying to figure out kind of because that's the feature, right?
Yeah.
So your physicality dice becomes higher,
Becomes a
right?
12.
So-
when I use my
Right.
telekinesis.
So my vision was it's like augmented punches.
Yeah.
Kind of like you're saying.
That's
It's-
what I was envisioning.
Yeah.
You know?
So in this case, yeah.
Yeah.
If you want to do that and you want to hit them hard.
Yeah.
Then yeah.
I mean, I want to be
Get it,
like a
girl.
little bit stronger and faster, and like but like throw in little telekinetic
Yeah.
bits in there to like
and
knock them off edge and stuff. That,
yep.
like
And it doesn't have to be super visual. It's not like there's
no,
fireworks
it's
or whatever.
just like
It's just a hard hit.
your foot's in slightly the wrong place, and so you're off balance when I hit you hard. You know that sort of thing.
Love it.
Yeah.
That for me is a creative use of it.
Cool.
For sure.
So do you need me to roll?
Yes. If you're going to
will
actually,
first, then?
so it says you get your physicality dice becomes higher, right?
Yeah,
So I will say that you
it's
get
like wild cast.
wild cast. So you're, and that's the thing for me is the casting is not the hard part to
Right.
make yourself kind of stronger.
Sure.
So I will consider this a discipline move,
Uh-huh.
but you're going to roll your physicality for
Right.
it to get into that melee.
How I assumed it worked is like you do the discipline roll to get into this, and then you use the physicality. Is that right?
I mean, again, this would be unique to this
Uh-huh.
subclass, and I don't know if I've fully thought through
Okay.
all these kinds of scenarios.
Sure.
So I'm open to,
cool.
but the physicality of it would be the D12.
Okay.
I guess in a sense it doesn't matter because you would have a D12 either way.
Yeah. Well, yes.
I just
the
haven't
question
used
is-
will as melee fighting. So,
Uh-huh.
so roll your D12.
Okay.
See how it goes. These again, gonna get to contest it.
I rolled a 9. I don't
you
know if
roll
I
a
get
6.
to add my bonus to it or not.
Yeah, I mean the highest he could possibly get
Okay.
is a 6 as an NPC.
Yeah.
And I will let you get credit for the successful
Hell yeah.
casting of it, so you get your magicka token for it.
That puts me at
This
5
one
magicka tokens.
does not, unless you want to kill him. It's
No.
just gonna clock him out,
Yep.
like knock him out cold.
That's the goal.
Non-lethal
It-
damage.
it's-
Okay.
Yeah, all non-lethal damage. Just trying to okay, let's like
Right.
just go to sleep and figure out how to turn off this alarm.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
know.
What are you doing right now? You're sitting in the cockpit, right? Or
I am sitting in the cockpit and starting to,
here's the first thing you notice.
yeah.
There are no visible lights or power to the unit right now.
Okay. Well, I think I need to interact with the technology or machinery,
Okay.
including driving or any form of transportation.
Okay. So cast your technomancy to see. We'll make your IQ roll. You need to add your +2 to that.
Oh my gosh! This every time I hit that, it's
It would have been
5.
better.
Well, it was 5 plus. I'm going to go ahead and catch that in. So that's 9.
8, right? 5 plus 3.
Yep.
With an 8, you reach out. Again, this ship has been outfitted to function on magical power. And in such, magic always carries just the slightest sliver of sentience to it, right? Enough to give you an answer that there is no power to the ship right now. It's functional, but there's no power. And the battery is, whatever functions as this arcane battery, is completely dead.
Okay. Then I'm gonna hit you all telepathically.
Uh-huh.
We're not flying out of here, but we can maybe teleport. And I want to shrink the ship down to fit into my pocket.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay.
Love it.
So size manipulation actually is a, physicality. I don't think I put it in here. It's actually one of the disciplines that I created for physicality. You're talking about imposing your will on something else, right? You're forcing it to change its shape.
Yeah.
But as a transmuter,
Yeah.
I think you could justify this because you're changing it from one thing into another thing,
Yeah.
right? And the truth is, and I'll give you this. Because of your discipline, you could swap this out for something much, much smaller, and it would still retain the essence of what it is when you want to change it back.
Right.
So if you want to make it into a keychain, you can. Something that big going that small is going to be a challenge,
Right.
but you also have these bonuses, right?
It doesn't have to be pocket size. It still will be charged, but like football size.
Okay.
Make it a
Something that you could like put in your bag.
Yeah. My messenger bag.
Right?
We definitely have that.
We're going to call that expert level magic. I'm going to say a 12 for the difficulty.
Are we able to help him in any way?
Yeah, do you want to collaborate? How? Tell me how. Because you're sitting there too, right?
Yeah.
I mean, basic transmutation magic is available to everyone.
Yeah.
So if you would also like to roll your IQ die, you can try to get 12 together. You
Okay.
still get your discipline bonus.
Okay.
You're still fighting people. So I'm going to say you're
Yep.
not.
But I'm distracting them enough that
help.
they're not going to notice this magic.
Oh, they'll notice this magic. I don't think there's any way that... You got 2, and you got 3.
Uh-oh.
Plus 5 is 8. Plus 2 is 10.
Well,
You're 2
no, you
away.
can do a
Oh,
token.
we do token.
Yeah.
I've got another one I could do. I could add another +3.
Well, I mean, I'm sitting on a few, so we could also just do ones.
Yeah.
Save your 3s.
We could do one
Yeah.
each. There you go.
Okay. So, so there's one guy that is out cold. The other one's looking at you, and the other one's still on the railing. What do you turn this into? A football, or you turn it into a football-sized version of it?
Let's go with the football.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll also say
That
because
looks
you
so
succeed
out of character for
and
this
you
part of the
initiated
show.
this, you get a magic token for succeeding on magic.
Okay.
And it does. It shrinks down, and you are able to pick it up.
Okay.
However, both of the conscious people in the room have seen this happen. And as you are, you're still glowing, all of a sudden a figure darkens the goo-dripped doorway, and you see a man in a military-esque uniform look at all of you and say, "Stop." And he is going to fire basically a paralysis spell at
Oh,
you.
this is the guy.
This is the guy. So
Okay?
I guess
so.
I'm
The
gonna
way
go
this
loud.
works is, you're going to roll your luck to defend, and he's going to roll what for him is. Ooh, I actually made that really, really low.
I want to phase into the wall.
Good job, girl.
This is not
Person.
his.
Yeah, I'm trying
This
to
is
get
not his
behind him
best.
so I can.
Yeah.
Would
Okay.
paralysis thing be will based?
10.
10. 10 on 10?
10 on 10.
Great, you get a super magica.
Oh yeah.
You are able to evade it, and he does not get. It does not get to you, but he begins to walk resolutely to all of you. How do you want to respond to this? The way that combat, now that we're in kind of combat, how that works is you each get to go, and then you just kind of alternate. So you can go in any order you want to retaliate, and then he will get to go.
I mean, my personal Kate's instinct is to talk to him.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's Rowan's instinct.
Yeah.
Rowan's instinct is to punch him in the head. So
Well-
if somebody else wants to talk to him, you should go first.
I think am I still busy fighting the other people?
You tell me. You had one guy that
Uh-huh.
was not. I mean, he's not armed.
Right.
You know, he's
Yeah,
a
he's
scientist,
probably
right?
solid.
He's not a soldier.
Yeah.
But is
okay.
also like, holy shit! Like the ship just disappeared. He's out. Like, he just saw you attack
Uh-huh.
like his friend there.
Right.
So he definitely believes he's in danger. He's not going to try to be hostile towards you, but he just saw all of this happen.
Okay, gotcha. So he's like not necessarily the immediate threat, though.
The magician is probably
yeah.
the way bigger threat.
Okay. I will lift him off the ground.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So this will be a contested roll with him.
16.
16. All right, you see him begin to levitate in the air as you do magic in front of a mortal.
Yep.
And he stands there. What are y'all doing?
We've crossed that line. Like,
Right? So you get a magic token for being successful.
I don't because I have.
Because what? Oh, you're at 5.
Uh-huh.
Okay,
He's been rolling so good.
great.
Unless you want me to have another one, you know. I could-
Nope.
I think I am going to try to spin and look at the other non-magical person. So maybe waste and try to put a sleep spell on him as well.
Okay.
Which is also IQ or will.
It is will. You're imposing you're trying to control another person here.
Okay, that's
Now they're gonna get to try and resist.
6.
You win.
Okay.
Okay. He just conks out, goes to sleep.
Okay.
All right. What are you doing?
I've phased him to the wall, and I'm gonna get behind him, punch him in the head. The
Okay.
magician guy.
The magician. He's how high up in the air is he?
I don't want him like high up in the air. I just want him like
Put him
to
by
stop
a
him.
wall
you know
for
a
me.
couple feet.
Put him by a wall for me.
Great. Yeah. So we like just a bit above the bit in the air, so there's a kind of like disoriented.
Okay.
And then just he floats a little bit over to the wall, and then
Punch and
Rowan
distance.
just kind of happens to be in.
Okay. So for I'm gonna have you do 2 rolls. One is to sneak up behind him, so using your luck.
Okay.
But you get to. Hang on, how do we say that? How are we going to use that with your phasing? Because hide
Because
is.
I am phasing, and I'm hiding by use of phasing.
Yeah, but luck is the stealth stat. I gotta figure that one out. That could be interesting. You have this added bonus. Go ahead and roll your discipline die.
Okay. So, which right now, because of my shadow thing, my physicality
Is now a
is
10.
reduced by 1 size, so
Yeah.
it's a 10.
So roll your. Oh, it's your physicality. Yeah, so it's a 10. 10 to hide and then a 10 to hit.
That's a 4. Plus my 5.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a D10.
Yeah, I know. It's because of my thing.
Oh,
She
I
increases my
forgot.
size.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, so you do
I don't know
sneak
what my
up.
shadow is doing right now.
You do sneak up on him.
I'm doing some pretty sinister things.
Uh,
Anyway.
Yeah.
Now you're gonna
Okay.
try and hit him.
Try and hit him. Yeah.
Okay, this is a contested roll here.
Okay. 5 plus 2 is 7.
7. So you do hit him, and he's going to lose a life point for that. Okay. He is going to look around. You see his body begin to hulk out a little bit as he casts the strength spell on
We're
himself.
trying to save the world, man!
So he is going to turn
Chill
around
out!
and
He's still floating though.
He's still floating.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but she's like right here, like just missed his face,
Okay.
right? And you're not phased because you were trying to attack him, right? So you can either hit him or be invisible or like,
Oh, right.
In the wall.
right? But not both.
Yeah.
All right. I need you to roll your luck die as a
Ooh,
contest
okay.
here.
Can I like
What's that?
pull him out of the way? You know.
You had your turn. There's no reaction. I intentionally did that. Here. You got a 2. He clocks you, and you will lose a life point
Oh no.
for
Uh-oh.
that. But that's his move, and his attention is on you. Now y'all can go. What do you want to do?
I want to transmute his clothes. Be like straight up iron.
No, this one's yours.
Sorry. I'm going to transmute his clothing to be straight up iron.
Okay.
Just like,
Okay.
hopefully he will. I know he's obviously.
So the idea is to
He's
try
just,
to
like,
freeze his
locked
arms
in?
in place?
Yeah.
Like, okay.
When he hulked out, it didn't look like metal skin magic.
No.
It just.
It was
muscles.
just strength.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Alright, so you're turning any of his... Now, because you're talking about multiple pieces of clothing and the distance you are away, the difficulty is going to go up on this.
then if I had to pick, we would just do.
I mean, you could do is everything he's wearing. It'll just be a higher difficulty.
Sure, let's try all. I mean,
Fuck
All
it.
of his clothes, you're more than 30 feet away. I'm going to say it's 11.
Yeah.
okay.
Do it. I believe in you. Inspiration. That does nothing mechanically, but
So 5, 10, 11.
Okay. You succeed, so you get your magic token back. As you see everything that he's wearing turn to iron.
Would this be something that I could
yes,
chip
it's
in a
iron.
Magica token for him?
If you can explain narratively how it makes sense,
Yeah.
you can gift magic
Like,
tokens
can
to
I
one another.
say I constrict the telekinesis that he can't really
He succeeded.
move? Well, yeah, but I'm trying to get him to not have to spend a magic token and spend one of mine instead.
You can always gift one,
Okay.
and that would be the explanation.
Yeah.
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 So yeah, you can.
Whenever
you
you're
can
one
spend
away,
it.
it's a free magic token basically because you
Mhm.
spend it and get it right back.
Yeah, but this way he'll get another
Get
one.
another
It will be
one.
your
And you'll
move.
be
That will be
open
the
to
move you
taking
make during
another
this
one.
round of combat.
Oh, that'll be the move I make. Oh,
Should I have taken a
alright,
token
yeah, okay.
for
Fine.
Does
my
that?
stuff?
It was like
Huh?
I was just
Should I
trying to
take a token for
maximize
my
the amount that
Yes,
the party has.
because you did.
I get it. I get it. It's fine.
Keep
Okay.
forgetting
Use
about
yours.
So you're not going to do that,
No.
okay?
Instead, can I just like?
Now remember, there's one guy up on the rafters too
Hmm.
that is calling for reinforcements.
Oh.
More people are coming.
Yeah.
Well, now that you've locked him in, should we skedaddle?
I mean,
Find a quiet place to do a ritual for 10 minutes?
we probably need to like wipe some memory too. you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah,
Um,
that's true.
I'm thinking everybody that's asleep needs to have a similar dream about little green men with antennas
Yeah.
that get him to do all
Something
of this.
like that.
It's aliens.
Yeah,
Can
they believe in it.
I don't know how hard
I mean,
this
they
is
have
gonna
an
be,
alien crab.
but can
It's
I
not
like
that
grab that guy too
far-fetched.
Yeah.
and just?
Oh, and have 2 concentrations up? You can.
It's my discipline, so
Yes, and what we were saying is if you want to try to concentrate on 2 things at the same
Mm-hmm.
time, the second roll is both difficulties combined.
right. How
so
would that work? with
raising
this?
him up in the air, just off the ground, was very low. You had to roll for it, so I'm going to say it was a 5.
Okay.
I mean,
and you
could
kinda wanna
drop
do the
that,
same
though,
thing?
'cause he's locked in now from his stuff.
I mean, yeah, like.
If you just want to drop him and pick up the other guy, then yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if he's pretty much immobilized, then I don't
Yeah.
really need to. Yeah, great.
It's
You
from
drop him, pick up the other guy?
Yeah.
Great. So just make that a 5.
That's another 16.
Okay, so you're fine. You pick him up in the air. He's
It's
not
so
moving
good.
anymore, which is great because he was starting to call off base.
Yeah. And if there's any way that I can just kind of make part of the telekinesis just up, you know?
Yeah, like, hush.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay, what are you doing? He's right in your face. Of course, he's now, like, restrained.
I'm just gonna walk away.
Okay, where are you going?
I mean, I want to try to find a place like, ooh, Carlos's closet we could go into to do this ritual. So I'm gonna head back that direction and just make sure that we can still get there and there's no other people trundling down.
Okay,
I don't know how many people are on this base.
the alarms are still going off.
Yeah.
So it's possible that more people will be coming imminently
Okay.
to help unless you
Well-
want to try to turn them off, which...
Maybe, yeah, I'll do that. I'll try to turn on. Well, they're coming anyway.
I'm going to
I'm not too worried about that.
start. How about I transmute, like, I don't know, paint off the walls into a fog to start sitting down the hallways to like make it confusing about
Yeah.
stuff and see if that'll buy us any time
Sure.
as we modify memories and
Sure.
things.
Yeah.
Is there like a? Can we make it look like it's like steam coming from a pipe or something?
Yeah,
so that
yeah,
it's
yeah,
like
Yeah.
something that would make sense for.
I
the...
don't know if this would fall under transmutation. I think what you're conjuring is a fog, right?
I mean, yes, but I'm not pulling it out of air. I'm trying to.
You're transmuting the air into something different?
I was gonna do
Well, he said like the painting
paint off
walls.
walls.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's something better.
I see what you're saying. I was just saying. So, is it the one hallway that was right off the elevator, like the entrance to this, or are you talking about the whole facility?
I was thinking just the hallway in front of us because we're headed to this.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you want to to do that, you need to get up onto the balcony.
Okay.
Yeah.
Never mind.
But you have the thing in your hands, right? Both of you are down. There's no threats on the floor level. The guy, the lieutenant, is facing away from you, trapped in iron. Everyone else is sleeping,
Yeah.
right? Two of you are on the bottom, and you're checking the closet,
Sure.
right? Did I understand that right?
Do we have to modify the memory? Can the general guy cover?
We don't. I mean, I think he's pretty mad at us.
Well, and to be clear, he just did magic in front of these people.
Yeah.
He did a paralysis ray,
did.
right? So
He's
he's just as
naughty.
culpable.
He's naughty too.
That's true. So
we could modify their memory to make him think that he did all of this.
well, or some
he did all of this.
Sure, if you want to do it, I don't care.
Let's do it. What's the modified memory thing again?
It's
So
just
that's a will,
declare.
yeah, a will roll. Now you're doing it on 3 people in the middle of duress. So it's going to be a little bit higher.
Can we all work on it?
How many are asleep? I knocked out.
Well, he's knocked out one,
Yeah.
like he's unconscious,
Yeah.
and then there's 2.
I pulled.
no,
He's
there's one
going to
floating
sleep,
in
and
the
there's
air.
one who's just floating. He's not yet
Right.
asleep or anything.
Knock
Yeah,
him into the
Just
wall.
kind of.
just drop.
No, then he might die.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we can
So
sleep him real quick.
I mean, can I? Yeah.
So the
can I-
2 of you down, y'all want to collaborate on a memory modify on these three
Yes.
people?
Yes.
Okay. Given how fast you need to do this, and the fact that to get clear on your story might take a hot second, I'm going to say a difficulty of 10.
Okay. How much would it
On your
increase?
will.
How much would it increase to do the lieutenant as well? Or the
He would be able to, well, all of them are going to be able to try, the 2 people who are awake would
Right.
be able to contest you. The lieutenant has a higher luck to contest than just the normies.
Could I help also? This
Yes.
modified memory thing?
How do you learn of this plan
Tell
if
me.
you're up in the closet?
Well, I had decided not to do that previously.
Not go to the
Yeah.
closet?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're all...
Yeah.
Now, he was looking you in the eye. You said, I walked away,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So you kind of like,
He's
you
like
want to
turtle.
do a little like, everyone's looking at each other like, we got to intervene. If
Yeah.
you want to, I'll bump it up a 1. If you want, well, these guys will all get to contest it. So
Okay.
modified memory is your collective will and their luck. So anyone who fails wouldn't have their memory modified, which right now it's just the 2 guys.
Holy cow.
2,
5.
5. I rolled 7.
Oh, it's a 7. I thought it was 1.
Nope, that's a 7.
Yeah.
And I'll go ahead
I will tell you that with that collective roll, everyone
is everyone's unconscious and not aware.
What's your total? You
14.
said.
The total would be 14. I'm willing to spend some magic tokens if I need to.
So I think their collective total was 15.
Okay, so we rolled 14.
Yeah.
Right,
So we just need to spend one. Though?
And you can get all 4 of them.
Yeah.
Great.
boom.
Woo!
This is good. This modified memory thing. I think this is a good
Oh
thing.
yeah, I get it back, right?
And you get it back for 60. Well, who initiated it? I think you did.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whoever initiates it would earn it back.
I mean,
I thought you did. I thought you wanted to
You
modify
did,
the
yeah.
memory, huh?
Sorry.
no.
Okay.
All you.
Yeah.
All right. So,
That actually was probably
what the
better,
three
so I
the
can-
three normies? You're modifying their memory to say you didn't see us do anything. You saw the lieutenant do something insanely magical.
Yeah.
What memory do you change for the lieutenant?
I think for the lieutenant, it's like just no memory of
The ship's just gone.
like the ship's just gone. Like we're not in his memory at all.
Yeah.
You know, and then he's just gonna have to rely on the stories that these other people
Okay.
tell. Thoughts?
IQ would
You like
tell
that?
you there's no way there's not cameras in here,
Yeah.
right? Like everyone's under high security clearances. They're making sure everybody's observed at all times.
Yeah. Is there a quick, like, correct?
There is a computer in the
Yeah.
room.
Corrupt that file.
Yeah. I'm going to try to hack and corrupt whatever is there.
Okay.
Right.
Now, as you're doing this, again, he's kind of stuck in iron looking away from you and now doesn't have any memory that you're there. While you're on the computer,
But
are
there-
y'all working on a teleportation circle? Like,
Yeah.
you're going to try and like... But what about the one guy who is still floating?
Okay, sorry. I thought we were trying to put them to sleep as well.
Oh.
Can I do that before we do any other magic shit? It's just like,
For both...
Go to
the
sleep.
Yes, so they don't remember you. You want to put which one to sleep?
The one's
The one
levitating.
the one that's levitating would be
And
the
then the
one that I
lieutenant.
care most about. The lieutenant, if we can, great.
Okay.
But
Roll a contested will against the normie.
Okay. I
You
rolled
don't-
6.
You don't get your +5 because
Right.
it's outside. Just,
Mhm.
you rolled a 6.
Mhm.
You rolled a 6. So meets it, beats it.
Okay, so he would
On which
succeed.
side?
Use it. Well,
Oh,
Yeah.
how
Yeah.
should that work? I mean, if this was D&D, like it goes to the defender, right?
yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll say with that roll, he resists you.
Magic token.
Okay, so he does fall down.
Yeah.
Now you're technically still taking turns in combat. This guy doesn't know what's going on. He does know he's standing in a suit of armor, which would alert him to something being very, very wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So he's going to try and transmute his own clothes back
Yeah.
to what they were. What is his? It's will, right? This is not his strong suit.
Transmutation was IQ, right?
IQ, you're right. That actually is his strong suit. But a natural 1. So
Good.
he's stuck
Yeah,
there.
Yeah, does he get magic
Yeah, I
modifier?
probably should. Someone roll me a d20. I don't know.
Yeah,
how
I got you. I get it.
20.
Oh,
Oh, arcane punishment. If nature
that's not
herself
great
reaches out
for
to
everyone in
you.
this room.
You,
You-
and all creatures in the scene take 1 life point of damage.
Oh, you really are.
Oh, okay.
I wasn't going to do it, just to be clear. What that means is all of you take a life point, and he kills all the normies in the room, because they only have 1 life point. Okay.
And there's no way we can avoid that?
No way you can avoid
We got to get
Well,
out
he did that.
now.
Yeah, that was it. That was us.
that. I know. He channeled magic
Uh-huh.
that he lost control of, and this force
Well, I only have 1 life point
explodes out.
left.
Okay.
We gotta-
Which
yeah.
is a
FYI.
severe wound. You are bleeding and broken for this.
and-
Can we say this also just damages the cameras and the files? Or?
Yes.
Right, yeah.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Okay,
We're
let's get
outta
the
here.
fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Okay. In the interest of time, I will say you can get out of the room.
Yeah.
You can get to an empty space you can find pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Do a teleportation
Draw
thing.
your teleportation circle, and you are able to roll your luck dice and see if you can get out of here.
8.
Great. As long as you made 10,
7.
great. Where do you go?
Back to Atlanta?
Yeah.
Back to Atlanta?
We
Yeah.
gotta. You
Let's go
gotta
back to
heal
home base.
because I know.
Yeah.
Because there's like some bad things that happen when you're at 1 life point, right?
So at 1 life point, a character likely has broken bones, is openly bleeding, is disoriented. Magicka tokens cannot be earned or played while for that character while the character's at 1 life point, as they're not advancing or becoming more proficient in their skills.
Made sense when
However,
you roll a 2.
you can all heal 1 life point between quests, right? You
Okay.
have enough healing
Okay.
to be able to do that. So you're now safe, but everyone, as you prepare for the next quest, everyone can heal a point.
Can we take Rowan to the hospital or something to patch them up the rest of the way?
You know a guy, right?
I know a
that
guy.
can aid in healing.
Yeah.
Magical healer.
It will take you away because this is basically going to count as a full day. So in 4 days they are coming.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you want
Which
to go and
I think
heal,
this quest probably took a day.
to heal at the level like this would be unthinkable in the real world, but it would take you a day to recover
Yeah.
a full life point even with a healer's help.
What do you think, guys? Worth it? Not worth it?
I think it's worth it because honestly, you need to heal. I think also some of us should be researching what's the next step in this
Yeah.
anyway. So,
It makes sense.
and then if we have just a clear plan, maybe we could knock out the next 2 ones.
In 1 day or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, it's 9 o'clock and we've been playing for 3 hours.
Yeah.
This is good. I had no idea how long this was going to last. Basically what we will do at this point, if we want to pick up and finish this story, which I think it's really fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We would move on to then the next component, which is the supernatural element.
Can I erase this other life point that I marked off since we decided?
If you're taking
on
your
it?
day, yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna
Yep.
take the day.
I mean, do you want us to come up with those things and then call it there? Or?
Yeah, I mean, do y'all want to just do the questions part and then we can kind of pause?
Yeah. That feels
Here?
like a good place to pause.
Or do y'all want to do a whole other quest? I don't know if I can do one more
I
other quest.
think I'm kind of done tonight.
Yeah.
But if y'all are still feeling creative and y'all want to start, like, be able to pick something and then you can think about it while you're gone.
Well, I kind of like the idea of starting up next time with the questions, just because
Oh,
then
sweet.
it gets us back into the vibe of the
Great.
thing. You know
So
what I
we're thinking
mean?
about it all
So
together.
remember, this next one is the supernatural component. So you're talking about something that is representative of the shield ritual that you are that you're going to attempt. Now, I've tried to keep this as broad as possible. What magical essence, substance, or artifact represents the ritual solution you have selected. Now remember, we're going to talk about location and why it's hard to get later, so just identify an object to start, and then we'll kind of go from there. I noticed when y'all submitted, y'all kind of gave me the whole story. I really, like, the UFO could have been the thing to kind of start with, and then we could have gotten it.
Yeah, I understand this part so much better after
Yeah.
doing it
Yeah.
one time.
Cool.
Like,
Same.
that was one of the things that I really
Here's the thing though, I can't meet next Saturday.
I have not even thought about schedule. Can we just Discord find a time?
Yeah.
Okay.
And would y'all just think about some kind of feedback? Can y'all make just notes and let me know? Things like, all right, we might need to think about telekinesis a little bit more clearly, right?
Sure.
And figure out how to, especially that physicality component, what
Yeah.
it looks like.
I have several ideas.
Great.
For
I'm
some of those
very
things.
open to ideas.
Good.
Yeah, let me know what you're thinking. Here's what I will tell you to leave you with.
Yeah.
As you get back, there's a new news report.
Ooh.
12 new locations have been hit
Oh,
with
no.
these spotlights, and they're not going away.
Yeah.
It's an eternal day for these places.
Ah.
Muscat is seeing the
They're gonna
death of
die.
cattle, the evaporation of oasis waters, and the no longer habitable outdoor conditions for the human population. Some of the new locations include Ireland,
No.
and Honduras.
Rude. I like this, Jimmy.
You guys,
Fun.
thank you so much for this, and I hope you're enjoying it. Like,
No, this seems super cool.
Yeah.
I